giant elephant balls down to like small shrew balls.
That reminds me of my favorite stupid meme. You know that guy sitting at the fucking table? It's like XYZ, change my mind.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one is bees stored in the balls, change my mind.
Oh my god.
Oh, well. Oh, boy. Okay, so whew, we actually got somebody faxed us a package this week.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Faxed a package.
Wow.
Yeah.
Technology is amazing.
It's interesting. I'm going to play it here. I haven't listened to it yet. It's unmarked. Actually, there's marking on it. It just says this is the first clue. So here, let's play it. Boop. Hello. I know I have been gone for a while, but I think you are looking for me. I must give you a series of hints. What is going on? You will find me soon. I miss you except for Jake. There's all these fucking birds. The secret is in the... Oh, they're quiet now. The secret is in the birds. Lisa, do the bird sound.
I did the bird sound. Someone pointed at me already.
If you can identify the birds, you will find me. Goodbye. Boop. I wonder who that could be.
Filthy fucking crowd.
What?
Whoa, that was
I know exactly
a lot
who
of
that is.
aggression
I
out of
know. I
nowhere.
have no clue.
You know exactly who it is, too.
No?
What?
I miss all of you except for Jake.
I don't know. That sounds like literally any German ever would say that.
I mean,
I'll vouch for it.
Yeah.
I did kind of go Inglorious Bastards on them like 2 years ago.
Aren't they very jealous that the Dutch took their language and made it all herby-flurby?
I'm sure they're extremely jealous of a nation one fraction the size of theirs.
Also,
That made it Herbie Flurby. Oh, you mean Swedish?
Welcome to the new episode of Herbie Flurby Mystery Planet, a.k.a. Two Guns, No Ammo. This is our 51th episode.
I like the other name better.
51.
51th episode. I'm Big Billy. And I drank a half a gallon of coffee today. Can you fucking
oh
believe
my
it?
god.
Yes, I can, because I saw it. And I am Genevieve, and I got to go to my first Comicon yesterday.
Ooh, I'm Lisa. I made 24 burritos today.
What the fuck?
Frank, I
Meal
thought
prep.
we made 25 because you got 13 and I got 12.
No, I had 12.
Well, then we made 24
After you ate the one.
burritos. Burritos are good.
Yeah.
I'm Jake, and I assure you there are no burritos left.
Damn.
Jake ate the bacon.
All right, I'm going to do a little bit of a callback.
chicken.
Every week, if you're a regular listener, we know that we wrap up the episode
Hi, Bill's
with...
dad.
I think he stopped listening.
He's giving up
Then
on
we
it.
lost our regular listeners.
Yeah. So I think... wait. Yes, the end section, we look at the Steam sales and we say what we would buy. Well, one week, I actually bought all the games that we said we would buy. I bought 3 of them, and one of them was 911 Operator. Looked pretty cool. I thought that I think I spent $7 on it. Now, if you remember my golden rule, it is $1 per hour. Makes a game absolutely worthwhile in my mind. So I was looking to get 7 hours of play out of this thing, and I had a sneaky suspicion that it might end up being menu clicking simulator. Well, I'll cut to the chase. It was. The game wasn't really bad. I think someone took the 7 hours I looked to get out of the game and spent that long to develop it. Basically, you can find any city you want on the internet. It takes a map of the roads, randomly places a couple of firehouses, a couple of police stations, a couple of Amber Lamps homes, and then you get sometimes you get phone calls with with actually some extraordinary voice acting, but most of the game is something pops up on screen and you need I need a 1 fire resource and 2 Amber Lamps resources, and then you click on a unit and you send it over. If it takes too long, the call goes away, you lose reputation. I don't think that matters at all.
Everybody dies.
Yeah, there's riots in the streets. No,
And you chose Philadelphia?
I chose Wilmington
Oh my God, why?
because it's small.
Okay.
And
I was going to
It's
say,
like
because
a
if there's
lot.
riots in the streets, like, what difference does that make?
yeah, well, there was a shocking number of shootings. There was at least 3 shootings with the police engaged with multiple gunmen per day in this game.
Slightly
Wow.
off course for
A
Wilmington.
little off course. So basically what you can
Probably
do
one
is
gunman per shooting.
buy like 3 different pieces of equipment, 4 different pieces of equipment, one of them being specific to police, and that's the assault rifle that your police can carry.
Oh.
You can also get a toolkit to help clear down trees. You can get a bulletproof vest, which I gave to my EMTs and police. And then there's something else that helps you clear cases. All you're doing is clicking on vehicles and sending them to a scene until an event clears. You know, if it takes 90 seconds, you send 2 police officers in one car. It takes 45 seconds, 3, and they have power-ups. It takes 20 seconds, blah, blah, blah. Some vehicles can transport. Sometimes you'll have people you have to transport, and the scene won't clear until you take them away in an ambulance or in a fucking police car. I had a bunch of motorcycle cops because they get there fast. You get the picture.
Right.
You can earn tens of thousands of dollars because the police make several thousands of dollars apparently when they arrest people in the street for the department. And I was basically saving up to get a helicopter.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, I mean, I bought a couple of other vehicles, but like the whole game, the whole thing that I'm working towards is just getting a helicopter. There's like a campaign mode that I hate to admit I didn't get into. I'm going to blame the game a little bit, though, because the menu clicking through wasn't quite engaging enough to make me go, yeah, I'm going to try multiple instances of this in a campaign. Maybe it's super engaging. Maybe it'll turn me around on the game. I don't know. I will tell you the best part of the game, and which quickly becomes the most frustrating part of the game, is that you get live calls, right? You got to pick it up or you can ignore it and then they die. You pick it up and it's like, my mommy wants pizza. And then you have some options. Be like, shut up, you little shit. Or like, where's your mom at? Or like, you're dying of pizza. And then whichever you click, they have voice acted by,
I could go for some pizza.
I think it's the pig from Toy Story because of how hammy it is.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, little
Stop.
guy, where's your mom?
That is not John Ratzenberger.
I'll go get John. What?
Ratzenberger?
I'll go get my mom.
He's Cliff from Cheers.
And then you go get her mom, and the mom's like, thank you. Yeah, I won't. And you're like, you can either threaten with arrest, hang up the phone, or be nice. And if you're nice, then you get plus 10 reputation or whatever.
What would being mean ever get you?
You just get to be a jerk.
Satisfaction.
I think basically it's to give the illusion of choices in this game. But some of them were like, I just saw someone get stabbed. Oh my God. And you have like 3 questions to ask them, like, what color is your t-shirt? Are the people still there? Is your life in danger? You know, they're not all
It's like a
evenly
basic
enticing. Yeah.
knowledge kind of.
Somebody did like a cursory level of research into how you're supposed to respond to these like incidents. Like somebody cut his leg off with a chainsaw.
What?
Something like that, or a horrible car wreck, and they're like, okay, use your belt as a tourniquet. And you hear, oh, okay. Okay, I did that.
Oh.
All right, sir. The ambulance will be right there. And then it takes them 40 minutes to get there because I have them like getting a cat out of a tree because I'm out of firemen or something. And sometimes they just die. And that's probably the most disappointing part of this game. If you fail, there's no reaction. You just find out in the daily report. You
That they
know?
died.
You're like, call expired for massive blood loss. Like, oh my God.
Do you have a penalty in the game for not responding or for failing, or it just kind of
Down reputation.
Does
like, public
reputation have
interest
any
or-
actual value in the game?
Not that I can recall.
Oh.
It's all just the money.
Maybe in the
Oh.
campaign it has more of an effect.
Perhaps.
So it's like real life.
Yeah. But like, you know, I kind of want somebody to call like, oh my God, you let my husband die. He shot himself. Ah! Like that would be emotionally engaging. But I think there's like 5 or 6 variations of the calls that come in, and then I just turned them off.
I really appreciate that your issue with the game is that it doesn't feel real enough in that the family members and public aren't calling and harassing you enough.
Well, no, it's not. It's not a question of realism. There's just no emotional engagement. Like you failed your objective, minus imaginary points. Nothing else happens. You know, I guess I like clicking things and watching the little cars zoom around, little icons on the map. I really did enjoy that. I really enjoyed that. Like, okay, so all the different individuals, your like paramedics, your firefighters, and your cops have like driving skill, and then some other skills. So paramedics is like saving lives. Fire is like technical skill. The police have a gun.
My gun skill.
So I really like having my like 99 gun police officers on motorcycles that are the fastest vehicle in the game, rolling around with full body armor and like fucking M16s, and they like they roll up on a drunk walking down the street, and it turns into a shootout between 6 people and like 2 policemen, and you just see the fucking the perps health go as they're getting wrecked by these police. We need help. You kind of have to imagine the gun sounds, but you do hear cries for help.
Wait, there's no gun sounds, but you hear them.
Like they radio over. We need backup.
Oh, okay.
We need backup. So, you know,
They need backup as they murk 6 homeless dudes on the street.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, there's some.
It's getting out of hand.
The one call I would always get was like a car parked in somebody's spot. And like every once in a while you get something like that and you'd go investigate and it would escalate to a bank robbery gunfight.
What?
I don't know. You know, the pathing of the vehicles wasn't very good. At least they followed the lines in the road to a degree, but like instead of just making a simple right turn, they would go around these loop-de-loops and drive across town. And
Sounds like they need a
Sounds
driving
like
lesson.
a taxi driver.
They
in
need
New York.
to up their driving skill.
maybe that's what it was. Maybe all my drivers were low skill and I just didn't notice. So one of these days, maybe when I start drinking again, I'll get through the campaign. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and say not $7, not a $7 game. I will give it a thumbs down seems a little too harsh. I will give half a glass of spilled milk as a rating. You know, not anything to cry over, but a little bit of a letdown.
Would it be worth it for $2?
Yeah, especially if you were like wasted. I'm gonna fucking have my RoboCops stomp around my hometown.
RoboCops.
Yeah, $2, yes. $7, no way, Jose. That's it. That's all I got on that one. So, Genevieve, we'll just pivot
Yes.
right to you. We usually front end load our episodes with not strictly video game related stuff. See
Somewhat.
also all of our traveling episodes. Comicon. You went to a Comicon, but did nothing with video games.
Nothing with video games. You're right.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely nothing with video
Perfectly
games.
relevant to what we're talking about.
Aha. Yes.
Maybe,
So-
yeah.
I went to a Comic-Con for roller derby purposes.
What's it called? What was it called?
Dover Comic-Con.
Okay.
Just
Where was it?
Nothing exciting. Dover.
Over Delaware.
Yeah.
Wait, is it like roller derby con or is
No,
it
no, no.
Comic-Con?
It is a Comic-Con.
So I
we
thought they
went
were only
as
in
a
bigger
different-
cities.
Well,
Maybe it was a baby one.
Is
I
it?
mean, it
think
wasn't
Dover's
too
the
big.
capital, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
You know.
So is Harrisburg, but no one goes to Harrisburg
No one goes
unless
there.
you're homeless.
For Homeless Con?
Yes.
And that would smell bad. You know,
Like regular
here's-
Comic-Con.
Here's the thing that I learned about Delaware. there's not even 1 million people in the state, but everybody on the East Coast ends up driving through it.
Yeah.
You cannot commute on the weekends because everybody's going north or south on 95.
No, it's one of those passerby states. You're like, oh, I think I've been. I drove
Wait,
through it.
95 itself goes through Delaware?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was only 295 that went through Delaware.
No.
No. 95 goes.
Oh, it cuts through the corner on the way down to Baltimore.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
DC.
just the Newcastle County. But
Yeah, the little rounded
little front part,
that
yeah.
should be Chester County, Pennsylvania, but Delaware has it. so
Whoa.
whatever.
So Dover is pretty darn accessible. Everything in Delaware can be relatively accessible because it's not that far from 95 because the state is 300 yards wide. So
Accurate.
Dover's pretty accessible. I think that lends it to not having to be in such a big city. But please continue about.
Oh, so yeah, while I wasn't there for the comic part of it, I kind of tried to dress up, but we still had to skate. So I really only wore like a Wonder Woman shirt, and we were skating around. And it was a lot of fun to see all the different booths, and it was like a lot of artists, which I guess I should have expected, but didn't. It was very interesting to see, though. Of course, a lot of anime, and the best part was just sitting there and trying to figure out what people were dressed up as. There were a lot of like obvious like DC and Marvel comic book heroes that are in the new movies, and then a few more obscure like anime, I guess. Yeah, mostly anime characters. And there was like one character none of us could figure out until one of my friend's kids pointed out that it was supposed to be a book from the Page Master movie, which I'd never seen, but it was a movie when we were a kid with Macaulay Culkin.
Man, I remember that like I know that movie occurred. I remember there's one scene in a library, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about the rest of it.
I just remember seeing ads for it. I never actually watched it. So.
I'd never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're like, well, we're just trying to figure it out, and that was that. There were 3 Spider-Men running around, and they did that goofy dance thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's like in a lot of videos from Comicons.
Is it the floss dance? One from Fortnite?
I don't know.
No.
that
You're
is.
that one.
Yeah.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not that.
It's not the towel.
It's not what
between
Frank
your
is doing.
taint. Frank, you're showing your age.
That's what I think of when I hear
Think of
floss
flossing.
dance.
You play for well.
That
you
is
play
the floss
Fortnite.
dance, though, right?
No, it's not. The floss dance is side to side.
Nope.
That's not the
Flossing, though,
backpack
has a
kid
different
dance, though.
connotation. That's what I think of.
This one?
That one, no, that's not flossing. Frank's doing the thing, elbows at 90 degrees out to your side. There's
Is it
a
like-
So for those who play
And I
Fortnite, that would be Best
run.
Buds.
what?
That's the dance in Fortnite is called Best Buds, where you go like.
What we're trying to say here, ladies and gentlemen, is that you should always remember to floss.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Use
Thank
the
you,
picks,
Jake.
though.
Dental
They're better at
hygiene is
getting
very
the back
important.
of your teeth. Don't use the regular floss. The picks are better at getting the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
you meant floss your teeth.
Thank you for saving
Yeah.
us from that minutia.
I mean, maybe your
Cavities are
fingers
bad.
and toes too, depending on how often you shower.
More Comicon
From
info.
tooth decay. What?
More Comicon info.
More Comic-Con info. Apparently there was a whole section indoors, which would have been nice to know because we were outdoors the whole time and it was hot as hell.
You were on roller skates,
That's true. So it was a little difficult.
right?
Yes.
So you were skating around, and the purpose of you being at this Comic-Con is you were trying to recruit new players, or
Well,
spectators,
awareness,
or-
yeah, because a lot of people still don't realize that it's a sport that we play and it's local. Kind of just that it's a
pretty much everywhere.
well, I mean, local for where we were,
Okay,
but
yeah.
we made fun of our one teammate because he kept saying, "Did you know you have a local derby team?" to everyone who walked up. Other than that, there were like a few show cars that were kind of cool. Like they had the Ghostbusters. Oh man, what kind of car is that even? The one that they drive around the middle?
Cadillac,
Man.
right?
Is it?
It's a hearse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
Cadillac hearse.
Yeah.
They had a version of that, and then they had some of the Jeeps that were like all done up like
Jurassic Park.
yeah, thank you. Jurassic Park, and then there was another car, and I don't know what kind it was, but it was supposed to be the Batmobile.
Okay, maybe the old timey one from the '60s.
Not even that, I don't think. I think it was just someone made a car Batman-esque, and
Okay, so did you didn't see any video game stuff? You saw what were the other booths that were there
it was
that
really
you got eyes on? Did you talk to anybody? Did you interact with anybody?
yes, mostly artists, which I talked to a few of them. Other than that, it was like I'm not even sure what they would be called, but artisans, like they make clothing and belts and like different stuff like that. So
Was this a flea market?
no. It was like could have been. Might as well be.
Genevieve wandered into the local farmers market
and just decided it was Comicon.
Comic-Con.
There were a bunch of Amish people there trying to sell potatoes.
Everyone's cosplaying.
Are you cosplaying as someone from the
And what
1700s?
TV show are you from? I'm from Lancaster. Oh.
I haven't heard of that show yet. Lancaster.
Are these potatoes your currency?
No, but I'm talking about like this one girl had like a steampunk theme kind of going on, so she had all the different kinds of goggles that she had made, belts and corsets, like leather materials.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another stand that was these two girls dressed like fairies, kind of, and they had like those clothes for sale. So
Oh, so it's kind of like
Different dresses.
cosplay, like
clothing kind of stuff.
crafts
Yeah.
and stuff available.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay. That makes more sense.
Were their cosplay outfits slutty?
No, you know what? It was
Were they
remarkable.
really cosplay then?
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, because the cosplay, I would argue, is supposed to be less slutty, right?
The only cosplay that I've seen has been on Reddit, which is always the sluttiest it can be.
Yeah, I don't know that that's. I don't know if the elitists would call that cosplay. More like costuming.
I tend to agree with you, but like that's all I've seen, so I just assume that that's everybody, guys
Well,
included.
That's
Everyone's
ready.
a sexy version of something.
My
I think it
favorite-
depends on your interpretation of the character, because there's all kinds of weird stuff you can do with like crossover themes of
Yeah.
different people.
Also,
and-
the only pictures that I've seen are from like the major Comic-Cons in like New York and LA
Right.
and San Diego and
People
whatnot.
get crazy at those.
Reddit.
I think they're more dedicated, because it was like, I want to say maybe 50-50 of like normal dressed people with maybe just like a something reference shirt but jeans or whatever else, and then the other half were in full costume.
Reddit is thirstier than, Death Valley, so I'm not surprised that it's titties on there all the time. But so you saw some people selling cosplay stuff. You saw some people dressed up in cosplay. Were there actual comics there? Were there any like stands of? Were there? And my other question is, was it all just vendors, or were there like displays? Was there like an event, a main stage, or anything like that?
No, there wasn't any kind of main event or like a demonstration or anything like that. But there were a couple of comic stands. There was one or two that were just selling older comics, so like what you would normally expect, like Marvel, DC, all that. And then there were a few like indie artists published comic books and their creators there at their stands. So that was interesting to see. I didn't really look too much or buy too much because I was trying to stay with my stand the most of the time, but it was, like I said, pretty cool to just see all the artists out there just promoting themselves, and they were always really busy, which is pretty cool, like to see that they had a lot of people interested in their material.
We had this conversation when we had our guest on 2 episodes ago. RGB. Oh, shit, what was this whole thing called?
RGB LAN.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. What was his name?
Justin.
Justin. Sorry, Justin, if you're listening. I'm pretty terrible with names. But he was saying, we were talking a little bit about it, and the people who come to these events already have an interest in it, right? It's not like somebody wandering through a flea market. That's pretty neat. It's exciting. I'm excited for the people who had their wares out there to have so much interest, I'm sure it feels good. But I wonder what was going on the inside. Maybe there was like a bigger event going on, but...
You know what? You could be right. Maybe that's where it was happening. I know. I brought my dad with me, and he walked around the whole time, and he said he went into the library, which is where the indoors portion was. He said that there was one guy there selling like impressive costumes that were all Star Wars themed, and another guy who was dressed like Chewbacca and had stilts, so he looked really tall like Chewbacca, and another guy who had a remote-controlled R2-D2. But he never mentioned anything about a performance or anything like that, so...
Your dad is a master troll.
He is.
So he might have seen the coolest shit in there and not let us know.
That's true.
Just because he wanted to be that way. So did you have any luck spreading the word of Derby?
Yes, I think so. I mean, I was only there for half the event, but for what I was there were couple people came over. There was one family, or like husband and wife, and their 2 kids. And between the 2 of them, they were very good sports about me joking with them joining, and they seemed pretty interested. And I think I saw them later on just rolling around the whole facility or road that it was on. And he like seemed excited to see me. He was like, "Oh, it's you guys again," like, so that was pretty cool. Other than that, though, not too much, but it was a lot of fun just to skate around. At one point, I got a smoothie slushy thing that was in half a pineapple and was just rolling around, and I was like, this kind of feels like I should be on the beach in Miami or something right now, because it was so hot, and just had half a pineapple.
That would be preferable to Dover, Delaware.
Yes, it would.
Which is hotter than Satan's taint.
Dude, the whole Northeast is just a swamp right now.
It's a swamp. One whole swamp. But then I came home and slept for 1,000,000 hours because it was exhausting.
Yeah. Well, that sounds pretty neat. I've never been to a Comicon. I definitely want to check it out. Mm-hmm. I really don't know what to expect. I know the guys that I watch do playthroughs, 2 best friends. They go to some cons. I know Critical Role, the D&D players I watch play, they do cons. But it makes a lot of sense for them because they're all voice actors. They have a huge, like 36,000, 40,000 subscribers on Twitch, whatever they stream on.
Right.
So they like fill up halls for Q&As and stuff. But it sounds neat. It sounds like a neat little place to start a smaller con in Dover, Delaware.
Right.
It's nice to see this kind of stuff proliferating through the mainstream. And I say that because like even towns like Dover, which isn't very big, can support a whole con and have enough interested parties that the vendors are busy. It reminds me of one time I went to a toy train.
Already lost me.
Toy train like display. Like some guys had spent 25 hours each on their little train displays in an elementary school, and I didn't even go with a friend of mine.
Wait, what?
It was a friend of mine's stepdad, and we're like, hey, we both like trains. Do we want to, you and I, go look at these trains and totally cut out the third party? And we're like, yep, that's what we do. We spent the day looking at trains.
I'm sure there's nothing wrong with this story, but just the way you presented it, there's several grown men in an elementary school building trains, and you went with, how old were you when this happened?
Grown up.
Oh, okay. All right. I was thinking you were a child going on a play date with your friend's dad.
No, it was like how the library did it. The library opened up to host events.
Okay.
Hosts the Comicon. The elementary school did the same thing. I'm sure they make a couple of bucks.
Right. Rent the space out.
Yeah, but it's I don't know if it's like a sort of an easing of this culture that I don't know if ever actually existed, but in 80s movies it's pretty big, where the nerd gets put in the locker at school, and now everybody's like, actually some of this shit's pretty neat, and we're getting these little cons and exhibitions all over the place. It's exciting to see.
Yeah.
Speaking of Derby, last week we took a break because Genevieve played and I announced the game. And I have to say, I think it was my best one ever. One, because I managed to put the microphone close enough to my mouth to be audible, which apparently I have trouble with sometimes. It's even closer than this one. Like, I have to rest it on my bottom lip.
You're eating the microphone.
Yeah. But I did a lot more play-by-play calling, and I think it went well because not a whole lot of action was happening. Like, there was a lot of pushing in front. A lot of shoving and like not quick skating, and then somebody would break out and the crowd would explode. And as I was calling it really excitedly, so it's quite a bit of fun. My point is, get to your local Comic-Con.
Good.
Go check out some trains and Google your local roller derby team. It is a fucking blast.
Not a regular blast. Fucking blast.
Yeah. All right. Frank.
Bill.
Why don't you take us into some video game territory?
I played Gears of War 4 finally.
Okay.
It is on Game Pass, Microsoft Game Pass. For those who do not remember us talking about that, that is a subscription-based service where you give Microsoft, I don't know, $10 or $15 a month, and they let you play whatever games you want that they have on there, which is over 100. many of which are like AAA titles. I mean, they've got the latest Tomb Raider game, which Jake is a big fan of, I know, along with the latest Metal Gear Solid game, Phantom Pain, which Jake is also a very huge fan of. They've got Fallout 4 on there. They've got any Microsoft published game, which includes the Halo series, as well as Gears of War 4. I have not played Gears of War 4 yet, all right? It's I've played the first 3. They came out for Xbox 360, I think, exclusively. I don't think 2011, I think, was Gears of War 3. I think that was still Xbox 360. I don't think Xbox One had come out by that point yet. In fact, I know it hadn't. So they were all Xbox 360. Anyway, it's been a long time since I played any of them, right? Gears of War 4 came out, I think, like 2 years ago, 2016. And I'd been meaning to play it for a while, but never really felt like spending $60 to $40 on it. Because I think it's still, at best, $39.99. Maybe you could grab it on sale sometimes for $30, but to me it wasn't, for a game that I wasn't going to play the multiplayer of, which means I was going to get a relatively short-ish campaign out of, not really worth a full price game to me.
No.
So I picked it up on Game Pass. I downloaded it like 3 weeks ago, and I've just forgotten that I had it. Finally played it last night. Played probably about 5 hours of it. Dear Lord, does it look great.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I mean, I know it helps. I have the Xbox One X. I've got a nice 4K TV. But holy shit, the characters, I mean, like, the beard hair and, like, the hair and the fabric on them, it moves the way you would expect it to. It's like those little details that a lot of games just really have trouble replicating. It does so well.
My roommate is pretty darn good at Gears of War, and he was playing that heavily before PUBG really exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some hands-on time with playing split screen with him, and that's one of the things I noticed. That art style for Gears of War was always like sort of grungy and dark. It gives me the same sort of discomfort that the art style in Demon Souls and Dark Souls does. But so when I got to the fourth one, I was stunned by the brilliance of these finer details. They really did polish it up. It's impressive.
Not only that, but I think with the whole, so if have you played the campaign a little bit?
No, it was only multiplayer.
It was only multiplayer.
Yeah.
So the campaign focuses on, like, I guess, rebuilding, right, after multiple wars fought against things coming from underneath the earth. And
well, I gotta cut in here. What a stupid story. Just blow up the fucking earth and they can't live there anymore.
I'm with you. Apparently, that's like a long time in the future, apparently, like 50 to 60 years in the future. They could just go live on the moon if they wanted.
Yeah, if you're so fucking smart, why don't you just blow up the earth?
As someone who's never played or has no familiarity with this, could you just give like a basic synopsis?
Yeah, and
this is kind of confusing.
So
but
this is something I think also that the game does really well. The opening of the game is a prologue, during which you kind of play through the entire premise to the first 3 games in like a quick 20 to 30 minute synopsis, where the story of the first 3 games is basically it's set sometime in the future after basically the entire Earth united into one government. And then as soon as everything's looking good and there's like peace on Earth and all that fun shit, these monsters come up from underground, and somehow they also have guns.
Naturally.
Yeah. And they're just like, yeah, we're here to fuck your shit up. We're from underground, man.
Well, they probably just stole all the gun plants from America because we farm them pretty extensively here.
I guess.
Yeah.
that's true.
I have a gun plant out back.
Yeah.
Or me a little Glock bush.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. So
He's my little Glock bush.
You
You don't know how to.
know what sounds? You know what sounds even weirder?
What?
Firing them all at once.
yeah. Anyway, so
At you.
when like the first 3 games, you play this guy named Marcus Phoenix, who is like I don't even want to say special forces soldier, but like this dude. Okay. Side note here for a second, Bill, you're a huge man.
Yes.
Indeed.
The men in Gears of War 4, like the smallest of them, I think have 17-inch biceps.
I think they're like, I remember playing the game. I was like, this looks fucking ridiculous. And they're like, somebody told me they're all genetically engineered warriors. So it makes total sense. I think they're all like 600 pounds.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the smallest man in that game is like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Yeah.
He is like a
It's
dwarf.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yes.
Why are you saying it weird?
That because it's like Dwayne
Rock,
Johnson,
Dwayne
The
Ron.
Rock. You know, like it's
Johnson.
Dwayne Ron Johnson. What?
Rockmaster.
All right.
John the Dwayne Roxon.
Dwayne the Jock Ronson?
Sure.
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore. Sure. So, yeah, these absolute behemoth men are in, like, you know, some sort of armored type suit that make them near invincible, apparently.
Power armor. That's power armor.
Yeah.
Wow, that was uncomfortable.
Armored type of suit. A suit of armor, perhaps.
Yes. I don't know how to. It's not even like a suit of armor.
No, Bill. It's like a business suit, all cut nice, but
Yeah.
it's also just made of metal.
But it's
and
not
repels
even. It's
things.
not even a suit of armor.
A
It's
business
really
suit of
just
armor.
like a breastplate with shoulders.
Yeah. Because they
So
can take a
it's
shot
a
right to their
breastplate.
dicks and it's fine.
Yeah.
But their chest is where
Their heart is the only thing not bulletproof concrete
Yeah, that's my point.
genetics.
Like it's not even really a suit of armor.
Yeah.
It's really some sort of covering anyway.
Your bullets
vest,
do nothing, but your words
will.
hurt my heart.
Yeah.
Sticks and stones, baby.
So you play this giant behemoth of a man in ill-fitting armor that has a gun that is also a chainsaw, and you
What?
run around. Yeah, that's a thing in this game. Is the guns? They're like machine guns or assault rifles that have a chainsaw on them, and you just like not pull a chain, but like pull some sort of what looks like a charging handle for an assault rifle, and it just immediately starts the chainsaw, and then you grab the top of it and you just chainsaw dudes in half.
Which makes sense because, like, if you're genetically engineered to withstand bullets, you're still going to have problems when another human saws you in twain.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's fun. It's a ton of fun to do it. I never get bored of it.
Yeah. Every time the animation kicks on, like, I get verbally hype. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit! And the camera does this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And you just go.
It is by far my favorite way to kill anything in that game.
Yeah.
So, aside from all that, in the first 3 games, your goal is to kill the underground monsters that just came up out of nowhere. And eventually you work your way to their like center base and you plant some sort of bomb that then kills them all instantly somehow. Fast forward 25 years later.
Why are you
Bill,
laughing?
Because bombs tend to kill instantly. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Well, no, but
It's a slow
I mean,
bomb.
The bomb, like a regular bomb, yes, it will kill everything in its blast
As
radius.
opposed to
instantly.
irregular bombs.
It's a pipe bomb.
No, but this is not a regular bomb. This is some sort of magical bomb that didn't kill everything within its blast radius. It somehow just killed all of them at once.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's one of the things that you play is you're on the surface of Earth, and you're at this place they call the Anvil Gate, which is like where a major battle is happening, where like I guess they've cornered all of these, I think they call them locusts, to like
Not
one
crab people?
entrance. No, not crab people. And they're trying to siege this gate. And then as everything is looking dim and it looks like they're about to break through the gate, literally like you just see this blue light flash and they just all drop dead.
Take that,
Ooh.
libtards.
Yeah.
Totally cucked.
Exactly.
The
So-
frog was
Exactly.
already gay.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the story of the first 3 games.
Oh my god. Okay.
So you start like 25 years after that with the typical like we're in remembrance of this day, similar to Independence Day 2, the movie that you should definitely not see ever.
Good thing I already did not that.
Yep. And there's this woman who's like the president or whatever giving a speech about how
Or
we should all
whatever.
remember about how the entire world almost died like 25 years. Like, everyone would remember this. You don't need a remembrance day for this. Literally every single person on the planet was affected and knew someone personally that died.
Oh,
Frank?
hey, you were
Literally.
Frank, never forget.
Yeah.
you
Horrible ground monsters.
Never
Yeah.
forget. Ground
crab
Zero
people.
monsters.
Mm-hmm.
remember that time we
Not-
almost all blew up? No.
So
what are
you-
you talking about? No, it's
What you're
on
telling
your
me,
calendar.
Frank? What you're telling me, Frank, is that
yeah.
it was
There's a day
it was
for
at
that.
least 100 9/11s, and we shouldn't remember.
I mean,
He's got you dead to rights there.
Dead to rights.
See, it would have been worse if
Never
it wasn't an
forget.
11
I'm just
out of
saying
11.
that, like,
America, Frank.
this isn't even America.
America.
Fuck
It's-
yeah.
Yeah, never forget. So you don't need a
It's- yeah.
specific day to forget to remember.
Right. Okay.
So
Forget to remember.
So this lady president or supreme overlord or whatever
yeah, she
is
gives her speech.
giving a hype speech.
Yeah, and then she gives her speech, and then the camera kind of just zooms in on these 4 randos coming up in the wilderness that have like some sort of cross between an ox and a horse.
What, does it have horns or something?
Yes.
Maybe it's an
A
antelope.
deer.
Oh.
Imagine a deer that looked like a horse.
huge deer.
So like a really big antelope.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that, but with horns that were like an ox horn
All right.
instead of anyway. So it's pulling a cart. So you're in
Man,
like
bear, pig.
it goes back on the like forest rebel trope. If that makes sense for those that
The
remember.
forest what?
Forest rebel trope.
No, it doesn't,
No.
but you can keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Like what? Like Robin Hood or
If they have their little
so
brigade.
like in sci-fi, right? You have this trope of these ragtag group of rebels that go up against a technologically superior enemy because they live in the forest and they're like attuned with nature and yeah.
Oh, so you mean wait,
Avatar.
Avatar.
There we go.
Yeah.
I thought you just meant in this game they had that
No,
trope.
no, this
Which
is a sci-fi
Avatar?
thing.
Yeah.
It's the forest rebel trope.
The one that didn't
The-
make you want to cry.
Ewoks.
Oh.
Yeah, well, not just Ewoks, but the rebels in Star Wars in general. They
Yeah.
like hang out
With
in.
the force.
But the Empire
Yeah.
didn't do anything wrong, Frank.
Well, it doesn't matter. There's still rebels that are in the forest.
Wait, the Empire didn't do it. I thought they blew up planets.
I blow up planets.
It was a joke, Genevieve.
It was a
You
forest
fucking missed
of
it
planets.
hard.
Carry on, please.
So you're playing these forest rebels, and you go up to this cool little construction thing that's being built by robots, and it's like an entirely automated town, right? Like people will live there, but it is built by robots, and
Okay.
everything is automated while you're in there. So you just kind of are going to steal their building machine. They call it the fabricator. It just, you put in the designs for something, and it just lasers it into existence.
We have one of those.
Yeah.
What?
Not me, but we as a society.
Holy Christ!
Yeah.
Please.
So excited.
So the whole well, anyway. So I'll try and make this really short.
No, I just please take as long as you want. We just got to give you a break
No.
with the interruptions.
So
That's
like,
all.
I mean, my point is, when I say I want to make this short, I just don't want to bog down in the details of it. So you go, you steal the thing. The first lady, prime minister, president person shows up with in a robot like projection, right? So there's a robot with a television screen for a head essentially, and it's her face, and she talks, and she's all mad at you
We've
for
all been
something that you don't even know what she's talking about. She's like, you keep stealing our people. And obviously, after like the majority of the human population gets killed, one of the key points of the next government to succeed that is like, we need people to like make babies. So she's really pissed that you somehow are stealing her people. In this
She
random-
doesn't suspect the ground bugs to have become back.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you're just like, lady, I don't know what you're talking about. And then you just cut her television screen off of her head, and you just keep going. And you fight the robots that are there trying to subdue you, and you make it out, and you bring the fabricator back. And when you get back to your little settlement base, right, you are attacked again by her, and then a bunch of the ground monsters come up and like start killing people.
We're fucking back.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the points of this whole thing is something that I did not know, despite the game being out for 2 years, and I think reading a review of when it came out, there's like one of the key mechanics is using that fabricator that you steal to like build defenses and then like defend a base. It's a base defense wave mechanic attack feature.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, right? I did not expect that. I thought it was just going to be a simple Gears of War. So for those who have never played Gears of War, first of all, at least try and play one of the first 3 games. They're really good games. I mean, they were some of the best action shooting games of the Xbox 360
Did
era.
Gears of War create, or at the very least popularize, sucking to cover, like waist-high cover?
Cover-based shooting.
Yeah, the cover-based
it was.
shooting.
It was. I don't think it was first, but it
It
was,
was definitely not first. but it was the
definitely
best.
popularized it.
Yeah, so if you're not
Very tight
familiar,
system.
it was when Gears of War first came out, it wasn't hugely common that when you're running around in a shooter like that, you can press hard against the wall with the joystick, and your character will push their back up against it and crouch down, and you can move along the cover like a wall or whatever. You can blind fire over the top, shoot without looking. You can pop around the corner. You can do tumbles to other cover. It very big shift from some of your old, like, Counter-Strike, where you just fucking running around blasting any of that stuff. And then the health regeneration, I remember this being really big with Gears of War as well. You take damage, you find cover, your health regenerates. You don't have a set amount of life.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I think Call of Duty started that.
Okay.
But this followed that. The major innovation of this game was just how deep the cover mechanics went for the first 3 Gears of War, right? That's what I'm talking about right now. And Gears of War 4 expands upon that, where you don't just have the cover. There is also different types of cover, where some of it is like, if you're in one of these construction sites, there might be wooden pallets you could hide behind. They could just tear that shit up with their guns, right? Wood's not going to give you much protection. But there's another place over here that's a big stack of concrete barriers that will stop explosions, right? Because it's a giant pile of concrete right in front of you. So that was something that I didn't expect. And then this whole thing where, in the first 3 games, you dealt with it a lot where, I mean, if you think for a game that is a shooter, and it is a third-person cover-based shooter, as far as like objectives in a story go, it's basically go here, kill these things, get through here, kill these things, defend this place, and kill waves of enemies. So they expanded upon that, and in something where no matter what, in a shooting game like this, you're going to have to defend a particular objective against different waves of enemies. They're like, okay, we already do this. How do we make it better? And this is a great thought as a developer to have. We're already doing this in our game. How do we add some depth to this mechanic?
As opposed to, we're already doing this well, let's not improve on it and just add this other shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's add more mechanics,
Yeah.
none of which are well developed.
Mm-hmm. So they add this fabricator where you can build defenses, and you have like little machine guns, like automated machine guns you could build. You could build just spike traps and walls and all this other shit, so that as you're attacked during waves and in between the waves, you can rebuild your defenses, and then you and a small team of 4 to 5 NPCs, or potentially co-op on the campaign. You can do. I don't know if you can do local co-op, right? I think I saw it on there.
I
haven't
unsure.
tried it yet, but you can at least do co-op and defend your whatever objective it is against a few waves of enemies.
So the base defense is a gameplay mechanic in the campaign?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How did you? So you got 5 hours into it. Does it appear to have much more left for the campaign?
Oh yeah. I would say I did not look to see how many acts there are, but the story is divided into acts, which are divided into chapters.
Okay.
So I am on like Act 2, Chapter 4.
Okay. I think nowadays a 9-hour single-player campaign is pretty considerable, and if you're only halfway through the story, which you may be, that's It's not
I
gonna
would
wrap
say
it.
I'm probably closer to a third. I would bet this campaign's closer to 20 to 25 hours.
That's tremendous. And
Yeah.
it has such a develop. I mean, the multiplayer on that game is pretty considerably utilized, or at least it was.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So
One of
that's
my friends is really into it.
and you can play it for a subscription fee. That's not a bad deal at all.
No, not at all, especially considering what other games you can play for that same subscription fee. Other high points of the game that I enjoyed, it is not particularly easy. It gives you 4 different difficulty options. I chose the one that is like they basically the recommended one, hardcore, where it's like this is the way the game was supposed to be played. Aiming is not easy, right? That's one thing that I hate about a lot of shooters is there's like almost no recoil, and the aiming is you can just lower the speed of aiming until
A lot of games give you a lot of help, especially on console gamepads.
Yeah,
For that reason, because it's nothing beats a mouse.
yeah.
So, like the kind of help that we're talking about, if you get close enough to an enemy, the game will, with your reticle, your aiming reticle, the game will snap it
Auto
Yep.
aim.
onto the target and then track it a little bit.
But this is also where like iron sight aiming came from, because it also slows down your scroll speed and lets you aim more precisely. PC games didn't have that until it came out for consoles, Call of Duty mainly. And then, it makes sense to have even if you're using a mouse, because it will slower your dots per inch with your mouse. But it was especially important on console because aiming was so difficult without
So
it.
there is no aiming down the sights in Gears of War. It's all third person. You always stay in third person.
Is there like a left trigger like zoom?
Yes.
Same story.
I
Same exact function.
I really like. I think Gears of War implements the zoom mechanic in this way. You can have a gun that doesn't necessarily have a scope on it, but when you do a zoom, the camera shifts just closer to the over-the-shoulder view, so it makes everything a little bit more viewable. But there's no like
It zooms the camera in.
yeah, but there's no transition to like a scope picture or anything like that. It's just a nice little zoom in.
And this is common across third-person shooters, even Fallout.
Yep.
Right? If you're using a non-scoped weapon and you're playing in third-person mode because you can toggle, and you hit the zoom, it's not going to switch to your first-person sight picture. It's going to just zoom the camera in, slow down your cursor speed, and let you aim that way. It's ubiquitous across third-person
What a
shooters.
great
now.
little thing too, because you could be like, well, that's not exactly how it works. Well, it would help your character shoot, and we're helping the player play.
Sure, I mean, like with a real weapon, ranged weapon, you when you aim, you're not zooming in, but you are focusing,
Right.
and that's kind of the facsimile.
So because of that feature, right, and the lack of iron sights, like every reticle that you get for every weapon is rather large. So some of them are obviously more accurate than others, right? The assault rifle is going to be less accurate than like the marksman rifle is going to be less accurate than like the sniper rifle. But because of that aspect, aiming in general is just not easy. I mean, it could take I miss a lot, and I'm generally in most games, most first-person shooters, I don't really miss all that much. Like, I might not hit where I want to hit, but if I'm aiming for a person, I will almost definitely hit them, whether I hit them in the face like I'm trying or I hit them in the dick like I end up. That, by the way, I remember when Call of Duty came out with what they called the heat map, so you could look to see where you hit people while you're shooting. I was like the dick area was deep red. That is where I shot people. I shot them 80% of the time in the dick. So in Gears of War, it's just difficult to hit people. It gives it kind of a little bit more edge, especially because ammo is just not that common, it seems like. You have to be very conservative with your ammo. You get 4 weapons that you can have, realistically 3 weapons, and then grenades. The grenades are not like auto kill options. They don't have a huge blast radius, and they're kind of difficult to throw. So when you're trying to shoot enemies, if you just miss a lot, you might end up running out of ammo and have to pick up one of their weapons, which might not be the one that you want to use, or kind of be stuck using a tactic like you might have like an assault rifle that's relatively accurate and a shotgun and a pistol, and the pistol's pretty weak. So you might end up just using that pistol and just kind of sucking it up because it's like, well, this is all I got left. Ran out of ammo with everything else.
Mm.
Yep.
I only ever played the first Gears. About halfway through it, maybe a little more. I don't remember. It was too long ago. I know 3 hadn't come out yet at the time, so it was way back. But yeah, I don't know why I fell off. I think it just was the cover-based shooting. I think was still a little too new for me at the time, or I don't remember. I don't remember disliking it. It just didn't kind of suck me in like it does for fans of the series. But so much of it was so tight. And I mean, even if I didn't like it, the cover-based shooting definitely was solid. Yeah. Well, let's get the hang of it.
Mechanically, it's one of the better games out there that is just extraordinarily polished, right? For what it is, if you like the cover-based shooting, there really isn't a better variant out there. What they do extraordinarily well. If you don't like that style of gameplay, like I understand it, it's not for everybody, but for what it is, it's the best there is out there, for sure.
So do you think you're going to finish the game?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how long it will take me.
Yeah.
Especially considering what else I've got going on in my gaming life right now. But and especially considering that I start school again in like 2 weeks. So
I keep forgetting that you're still in school.
Yeah.
I mean, for your master's, but
yeah. So and I work, obviously, so it's like, I work 50 hours a week, plus I got all that fucking schoolwork and class to go to. That adds up to probably a total of like 65 to 70 hours a week worth of work that I have to do.
Yeah.
So that's like 10 hours a day on average is eaten up.
Yeah.
Which doesn't leave too much else other time to do stuff.
Well, I mean, there it is, right? If you played a game a little bit and you're like, I got to play it some more, that's a pretty high recommendation.
Yeah, I have a very high tolerance, or a very, very low tolerance for bullshit right now when it comes to entertainment. It's like, if it's not great, I can't do it. I don't have time.
Very cool. I'm going to have to check it out. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll catch you on the flip side. All right, so we're working to expand our appeal. We've got a couple ladies on the podcast, and this section is specifically for ladies because apparently only ladies like fashion. So, Lisa, this is right up your alley.
Oh.
Genevieve and I were sitting around the other day, not drunk, if you can believe it, cruising through the interwebs, and started looking at $3 outfits. And I think this one was $10. So we're going to go ahead and see what kind of masterclass Chinese imitation workmanship 10 American dollars can buy you on the internet. So go ahead, come on in, Genevieve. Let's check this outfit out. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, you're in. Wow.
I feel like the front needs to be pulled up.
Yeah, but you see like how the strap is
Yeah.
a million times looser.
Oh.
So what we're
yeah.
looking at is a lacy top that is either too short or the bottom is too short with rosy bottoms. This is supposed to be some sort of a romper. How's the material feel, Genevieve? Why don't you sit down here? Thank you for modeling that. How's that feel?
The material itself is fine. I think the straps are my biggest issue because
What's going on with the straps?
either my chest is too proportional to my body or I need to have a 20-foot long chest because the straps are just so ridiculously long. And then like if you pull the like top part, to cover the boob area, you get like a wedgie because it's too weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it because it doesn't seem to be designed for a human.
That would be a good assessment.
At first I was like, maybe people are differently sized in the factory in China where they made this, but I don't think that there is a person built quite enough like a turtle for this to fit 100%. It does look nice though. I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
There's stitching. There's a flower thing on it. But
it's clothing.
Yeah, I guess it would really work well if you were either as fat as a hamburger, so the straps had to be used, or your boobs were at your waist.
Yes.
Right?
Or the area from your boobs to your shoulders was like 3 feet long.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's just like there's so much expected from like armpit and shoulder area that is just not. It makes me feel inadequate. Really, is
You're
what the
too
problem
proportional for the clothes.
Yeah, if your
Yeah.
neck was perhaps expanded to 3.5 times as wide, and with a ledge that the straps could rest upon. Like,
If only
what
my
is
neck
Like,
had
yeah,
a
look,
head.
there's like.
Okay, so I'm pulling on the strap right now. To say this is elastic is certainly misguiding. I mean, there is some level of resistance, but it is about as much as the weight of a feather on my finger. This is stretching to 4 feet long.
It's so ridiculous.
It is clearly not.
You just
Not
have like some
humongous.
loose rubber bands over your shoulders,
What
like
if-
I know,
industrial
right?
rubber
Like-
bands.
Yep.
What if you
But
were
they're
a
not tight at all.
humpback and you could just string it over the hump?
humpback.
Oh, if you're a Quasimodo,
You
it
know
would
what?
fit
Maybe
you.
we're not being.
Did you miss
We're
that
not body
disclaimer?
positive towards the deformed.
Okay, so let me look. Is there any way to adjust this?
No, there are no. Wait, nope. I might have to cut it and sew it because I don't
You
want
could
to
do
try
that.
sewing
You
this
could
back.
you could
It
like
seems too
clip
much.
them.
Yeah, look, I
like
can.
roll 'em
If
up
I
and
hold
clip
it
'em.
tight, if I follow you around and hold it
just hold it
tight,
right,
it'll
perfect.
work.
Perfect.
There's a little bow action in the back.
Yeah.
Did you have to tie that yourself?
Yeah.
How did you
That's
tie a
usually-
bow behind your back? Is this something
It's
ladies
not
can
that-
do?
Yeah.
That's a thing you have
Yeah.
to do when you
Okay.
wear
It's a
things
skill
like
when
this.
you level up.
Okay, there's some elastic on the lower part of
doesn't
the
lock that
dress.
perk.
and-
Yep, that's
Yeah.
that's like
Back-
the shorts,
a back
shortsy,
bow perk.
skirtsy part.
So how's it? How is the shortcut treating your undercarriage? Because I often find that the crotch height is.
This is what I wanted to talk
Problematic.
about today.
Often an issue.
Yeah.
Actually, right now it's fine.
Okay.
Last time I tried it on, it was not pleasant, but
Maybe,
I don't know what's changed between now and then.
maybe it off gassed and got a little looser.
I don't know what that means.
So what do you
I'm
think?
scared to ask.
What do you think you're gonna do? What do you think you're gonna do with this?
I'm gonna see if I can fix the straps and maybe wear it. I don't know. It's not the worst. Surprisingly, it's not the worst looking romper I've put on.
No, it's a cute little outfit. I mean, the idea is certainly there. It just doesn't.
It's just
not
the
made for
execution is
people.
They just
awful.
accidentally made it for a hunchback.
Yeah, or like a rotund dog.
They pulled the wrong pattern measurements, and they're like, oh no.
I don't think a dog would even fit this.
This is what American
dog?
women love.
Ah,
Ill-fitting
yes.
clothing.
All our huge boobs by our knees
Yeah.
need to be supported.
Oh, I just realized the straps.
my boobs
I
are-
could.
Oh, it goes over your
Puppeteer
bun
me?
on your head.
Oh yeah. Oh, there it is.
Ah,
We
nailed
lifted the
it.
So
No.
so you have to wear your hair. You have to have long hair.
Yes.
You have to wear it in a bun.
Correct.
And put the straps over the top of your bun.
This
You
is
got
some
it.
fucking Hunger Games looking shit.
I'm glad we figured this out.
Oh my god.
I feel
It makes more
so
sense
fancy.
now.
See, like I could probably wear it because I have the bun also.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
Fucking looks.
So
You look like you look like a marionette. Like your body is a marionette puppet controlled by the back of your head.
I feel like a weird project from like
Voldemort?
Face Off or something.
I was going to say it's more like Conehead.
Can you stand it real quick? Give me one more spin. I just need to really.
Oh yeah. Bill, you
I-
better watch out.
I like that outfit is made seemingly of rice paper, so any level of moisture, we will see what's going on there.
oh, that's like the worst. No,
I mean,
that's
for
the
now,
worst
it's
though with some
obfuscated
clothes.
enough, but
Genevieve, isn't it true that a lot of women's clothing, it'll look great, fit nice, but the fabric is made of like tissue paper?
Yeah, pretty much.
And
It's like suddenly see-through. out
unless
of
you
nowhere.
wear like 3 layers of tank tops underneath, everyone can see everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Or-
that's nice. I want it to look
or
like
the
a professional
dresses-
human being.
Or the
but cool.
sundresses that are kind of see-through and you have to like wear shorts or something under them
Right.
because why are they
Yeah,
there?
There's
Maybe-
a lot of issues.
You're
with
you're framing this as
that.
a problem. I have no problem with people walking
Yes.
around naked.
Okay, well, not everyone is you, Jake.
No,
I mean, I do it all the time. You guys, I'm right now even.
Every time I say something like that, people go, think about some of the people who aren't good looking. I'm like, whatever. You know, let's be free. This is America.
You don't have to ogle them. You're not forced to be like,
you special.
Oh God, why am I looking?
There's a subreddit specifically for those.
Like none of you have made. I'm sorry, Bill. I just want to point out that no one's made eye contact with me this entire time because I'm sitting here nude. And it's horrifying, and it's a case in point for what we were saying.
I'm not going to not make eye contact with you now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'll make eye contact back if you're not careful. But
really looking around.
It's just
no. There's a subreddit just for that sundress thing where the sun shines through the back.
Yes,
yeah, it's so stupid.
Well, apparently it's a hot.
Like,
thing.
why would you not make the dress with fabric that can block out the sun?
I don't know. It's like when I went to New York City with the rugby team a couple of weeks ago.
Privilege.
And there wasn't a bra to be found. So maybe it's just a fashion thing. We're really breaking down.
No, but it's not
here.
like the boob region. It's like the waist down.
Well, yeah.
Like you can just see through everything and you're like, I can't wear this outside.
In public.
I mean, you can.
Where people will see.
You gotta be a trendsetter.
Oh, but I don't go outside, so.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe
you just can't wear it around the house.
Maybe some compression shorts, whatever the female version of compression shorts are. Compression shorts, I suppose.
But then you still see the silhouette of everything, and then people might not know you're wearing shorts, and then they still just assume that you're.
And they get
see,
really
the whole romper is like white with a floral print.
Also a dangerous color.
Yes, for several reasons, but mostly because you can't wear anything underneath it really, except for the.
Is there an advantage? Is there an advantage to the shorts characteristic of this romper? Because it just looks like a dress. I can't tell.
I would say no for this because even if you do like leg things and like
it still rides up enough.
Well, it rides up enough and it's loose enough that like I could literally just pull the side up and have an ass cheek hanging out.
Where did you get it again? Amazon?
eBay. I don't know where through eBay, but
do you know like the actual like brand and product information at all that
Is there a tag
so that people if they choose to can look it up?
Oh, sure, but did you find a tag?
No, I don't think there's a tag.
If you
it might be on like the waist part, like where the shorts tag would be.
All I know is that we ordered this for $9 or $10. I think we ordered it.
There's your first problem.
I know the brand that we like first saw it on was it's like Romwe. I think it's ROMWE. I think. But we saw it there, and then Bill had the idea. It was like, well, let's see if it's for sale anywhere else. And then we found a version of it on eBay, and we're like, all right, let's just get this because it's like $5 or whatever it was.
Oh, so they we found these sellers really like to do this fucking sandbag thing, where like you'll see, oh, look at this outfit, it would be cute. You click on it. And you go to the size selector, and as soon as you select anything, the outfit completely changes to whatever they're actually selling, and the price goes from $1 to $30. Or you'll be clicking through like an outfit like this, and you see like white, blue, red, and then you click on black, and it's like lingerie.
It's like way sexier, less material, and all of a sudden way more expensive.
Yeah,
but it's very confusing because it's something totally different than all the other color options.
That is very confusing.
Like, did they just not have a color, or because sometimes it's similarly priced? So I'm like, are we actually getting this, or they just didn't have a picture? And
or is there like some
Chinese
rule
company
where you can't sell lingerie online?
I don't buy very much on eBay, but I shop constantly on Amazon.
Right, they do it
because I have no moral qualms about horrible companies, and also, I mean, they're incredible. But they all, I'll encounter something similar, right? With anything, right? Here's a 4-pack of toilet pucks, which I literally bought on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, what's a toilet puck?
It's just like a Clorox like bleach puck that you put in the water tank to like clean the toilet regularly.
The water's
right?
always like blue.
Yeah, so some of them are blue. So
that's what they're called.
I don't know. That's what you know what a puck looks like, correct?
What are you, a fucking lawyer?
It's like the duck
from California. I don't know.
Does it look like a puck? Yes, like a hockey puck. Ooh. That's why I call it that.
Puck you,
so, you know what? Puck you, Lisa. So, and it'll just have all those different size options, but some of them you click on a size option and it's like, oh, this is a bundle pack for some reason with a bunch of other shit in it or like whatever, and the price jumps dramatically.
Right.
I wonder if the eBay listing it might just have some. It could have been like by accident, even like someone just fucked up.
It happened
like
on several.
12 different.
Yeah.
It could also be consistent, like they're a down low like lingerie line or something.
Maybe. I know that
this is lingerie.
I know that some of the either eBay or Amazon will price things super duper high when the quantity gets really low. They'll price something for $10 for 1,000 because they don't want to say it's out of stock or lose the listing, but they can't sell because they're out of stuff. So.
I didn't know that.
You did buy some other stuff. You got like a camo top.
That fit well.
It looks really good. I think that was literally $3.
Yep.
It's one of those things. Like, what's the average price? Maybe $5.
You know what? There's a thing. I don't get any money from this company or their product for pulling it, but it was advertised to me at some point, and I have started using it. It's called Honey. It's a browser toolbar.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
And it like automatically pings for like the best like deals or active coupon codes like wherever you shop. And I mainly shop on Amazon, but it'll even it'll just like when you have an item in your cart and you view your cart, it'll automatically, there's like a button that pops up beneath each item and it just runs a search of comparable items through the rest of Amazon.
That's awesome.
And like looks for either coupon codes or for the lowest price.
Wow, that's great, actually.
Yeah, and it factors in like shipping too. Like it's
Wow.
very, very smart. And it's just a browser extension.
It's called Honey, spelled like
Honey. Just
Honey.
Well, actually, let me double check that.
So why?
It might have some kind of weird.
It's
hip-
called Honey, spelled ZXQ.
Nailed it. Nope, it's spelled normal, like honey.
oh, and it's just a
not
browser
honey like
extension?
Winnie the Pooh style.
I think you can also like use it. I'm sure it has other functions too, but mainly if it recognizes the site, the cart of the site you're shopping on, it'll just like look for any coupon codes or competitors.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, it's completely free. I haven't seen a single ad for it. It adds like for Amazon, it adds like a watch list function, so you can actually like get alerts when the price changes for things, and it'll show you like a price change history even if you're not watching it.
Maybe they make money off of like the coupon codes somehow being referral codes that get money to them. That'd be pretty ingenious.
Yeah, I am kind of curious about that, but this whole discussion just made me think of it, and I thought I'd mention.
That's well, thank you for making it somewhat related to our typical content. I think it's a testament to this fucking sweet ass garment that we put the straps on your bun and they're still there.
They're still there, which means it's not terribly uncomfortable for you.
Right. This is how it was meant
because
to
the
be.
straps are so loose.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm guessing.
No, they
So
weren't
yes,
loose.
if the benchmark for clothing is if you can put the straps over your head
And be comfortable.
and be comfortable for an extended amount of time, then yes, they've reached that benchmark. The other thing I was going to add, besides the camo one that Bill mentioned earlier, I also got one that's just like the camo green, but solid green, and it also fits.
That sounds like it doesn't fit.
But it's very tight, and like
So it doesn't fit.
the straps again are really long, and then like the actual part of the shirt part of it is like down here, so it's like really low cut
Down here
So
being
no part
below
of it
your-
fits where it should.
below where the boobies are. So like not everything is concealed, and I feel like I'm in a toddler singlet.
So I run into this problem with like pants because I'll get a bigger waist, and instead of like maintaining reasonable proportions for just a bigger person, they just assume I have this insanely fatty fupa, like the zone between my penis and my belly button is just dumping fat is what they suspect. So like it adds all this like crotch
That
material,
upper penis area.
like all this material from the waist to the crotch to like come out and circle back, and then be like, oh, the crotch will be in a reasonable place on this human being that is definitely real. And what I really need is just like a bigger waist with the same distance to my crotch, and I end up with like the crotch of the pants in between, like just above my knees. So when I take a normal step, I tear the pants in twain, and
You
it
like
can't
saying
withstand
that.
it.
as you goose step from your seated position, which I'm slightly triggered by.
This is how I walk.
I know it really upsets me
like a
all the
recumbent
time.
bicycle.
Wait, are you suggesting you're leaning back or reclining as well?
Yeah.
When you're walking?
As I'm sitting here stepping, this is how I walk.
Oh my God.
Bill's not sitting; he's standing right now.
He's standing. He's hovering right over the chair.
Truly, if any of our lady listeners out there, or well, anybody, no, only lady listeners,
No, or guy. We'll be fair. Guys who like to dress like lady listeners.
yeah.
Not just ladies, lady listeners.
They like to
Well,
get
TGNA's on. I'm going to strap on my bra.
We have a very specific look for the lady listeners and the people trying to dress like lady listeners.
Oh my God.
So I really like this podcast. They're really obscure.
I could tell by your outfit.
And, I mean, there's demographically, there must be at least one lady. I want to dress like that lady. And I have nothing to go on other than they listen to this podcast. So, thanks for the tips, guys. A real fax we will receive after this episode.
We
I
should
really
just
hope
start
so.
We should start a fucking Insta.
Wait, would that be
TG
Bill's dad?
Yeah, that's what he sounds like.
I'm Mr. Bill's dad here.
That's what I call him too.
Mr. Bill's dad.
Mr. Bill's. Hey.
dad.
Oh no,
Mr. Bill's dad.
Jesus.
That's what Bill sounds like too.
Whenever I go home, I just
Spot
slip
on.
right back into that voice. No, I think we should start an Insta of TGNA style.
Oh my God.
A
Where it's
fashion
just
page?
awful things.
Yeah. So if you have a suggestion, 2gunsnoammo@gmail.com.
or at Two Guns No Ammo on Twitter.
Yeah, actually just tweet it. Tweet the link to whatever fucking outfit you think we should get in our size and wear, and we will put it on and review it. I think
probably maybe if we feel like it.
Please.
the budget,
Please.
max budget is we're gonna say $13.
Not
Ooh.
quite
Spooky.
15, just 13.
Spooky.
And 50 cents.
Yeah.
After shipping.
Okay. So thank you very much for being
you're
our
welcome.
model. I hope Lisa, did this get your fucking
I'm inspired.
Fingers
Yeah.
tingling?
Yeah.
Lisa's
They're
main
doing this.
goal in life has always been to be a model. So
It has.
you could
Yeah.
what could you model? Oh,
Salad.
Gloves.
you could
And
model
salad.
you could model radio tower
Oh,
support cables.
Look at this.
Got him.
Bill, you're. I don't know if
Got
you're aware,
her.
but I already do.
Okay.
So you're the one in all the.
It's my third
Pico-
job.
Oh,
The Pico commercial.
never mind. I didn't say that.
I was really waiting for you to turn around and tell me I could be like an anchor model or something.
Anchor mom.
Yeah, big and heavy. I don't know.
You'd be like a
Boo.
boulder that crashes into a building model.
Yeah, a wrecking ball.
Oh shit, they have those. No, I'm just like imagining this
Why
like rogue
would-
boulder coming out of nowhere.
Why?
Me rolling down a hill.
Why?
Quick cut to the word fashion.
You were in that Miley Cyrus music video, weren't you, Bill? That was you, huh?
Yeah.
All right, you know what? We're taking a break. Just kidding. We're not.
Okay. All right. It's a real shame I followed up a sick joke with a terrible one.
Boo.
I'm going to flagellate myself later.
I'll do it for you.
Sick. Okay. Who was next? I believe, Jake, you had something you wanted to talk about today.
Did I?
right?
Because I don't remember it.
I'm going to go quickly change.
Or did you, Frank, did you have a part two?
I can talk about my.
Lisa had a story, remember? That was.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Lisa.
Sorry. It's Lisa time.
Yes, Lisa.
Woo! Yeah, so since I have my PS2 working now at home, I started I think it's only my second playthrough of the game, Dragon Quest 8 of the
Wow.
Dragon Quest series.
I know fucking nothing about Dragon
Me
Quest.
neither.
So it's an open world, turn-based RPG game.
I'm hooked.
Yes, it's great. I found out while I was Googling that the first game actually came out in 1986. Was the first Dragon Quest game. And the only one that I have and the only one that I've played is Dragon Quest 8. And it follows 4 main characters. And you go around this world. There's multiple islands and you eventually get a ship. So you have this giant world map. And you go around and you fight monsters, and eventually the whole goal of it is that you are hero. You make your own name for your hero, whatever. You're called hero. And you worked for this king, King Trode from the Kingdom of Trodane, whatever. And it's kind of weird. The game is serious, but at the same time, like a little ridiculous.
Okay.
So the protagonist is this like jester, and his name is Dolmagus. He's this like evil sorcerer jester.
Mm-hmm.
And he casts a spell on the kingdom, and he's trying to like take over the world or something, and he curses the king, and now the king looks like a green troll, and his beautiful princess, who's like renowned across the world, turns into a horse. We end up having pull our carriage for us the whole game.
Wow, that's
so the
rough
whole
thing to do to
mission
the
is
princess.
I know, right? Our whole mission of the game is to go through, level up, and eventually find Dolmagus, kill him, save everything, defeat the curse. It's called Dragon Quest VIII, the like Cursed King or something.
Okay.
Like that's the Journey of the Cursed King, I think is the name of the title. It's great, actually. It's really fun. They really have a good gameplay with it. So it's open world. You can go around anywhere. It just has, you eventually have 4 people in your party. You start out with 2. You and your friend Yangus.
Yengus
Not
and
Angus.
Demangus.
Yangus.
Angus bone.
Angus with the Y.
Angus beef.
That
He's
sounds like
your,
slang term amongst the kids for your dingle dongle.
Yo,
It's
dog.
great. They all have
Look at
British
my Angus.
accents. And Yangus has this really, I don't know what accent it is, but it's one of those really like, oh, call blimey, mate, blah, blah, blah. Like
God,
really
like-
thick.
Like Cockney?
Cockney. Yeah, Cockney. So it's you and Yangus, and then you meet 2 other characters.
That was a great Cockney accent, by the way.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Jessica, who is your typical like rich girl, comes from like family that owns this town, but she dresses kind of like a slut.
Misty.
Kind of like Misty, yeah. Okay. Misty Trainer, right? Misty from Pokemon.
Yes.
Misty.
What other Misty?
The only-
Dresses like a slut. Oh, wait.
Besides all the strippers in the world?
Misty Yengus.
Anyway.
Yeah. And then,
That sounds like some kind of term for
and to round off your party, you meet Angelo, who's like a Templar
Yeah,
knight
I'm
kind
Angelo.
of thing. No, he's not Italian. He's not Italian though. He's this little poor orphan boy. And he gets
I got no parents.
he gets kicked out of the abbey to go.
And nuns kicked me out.
Specifically not Italian.
Was he born into Mafia by chance?
Nah, I don't know.
Because that's a terrible movie. that
No,
one
he
should
was
ever
born
watch.
in like this place called Simple Town or something.
I'm sure he was.
Wait. Is everybody in Simple Town a simpleton?
No, it's Simpleton, I think. You go visit
yes.
it. You visit it and find out that Angelo's from there and his family, his parents were murdered or
Are
something.
you okay?
Because they're part of the mob?
Hard pause. Mm-hmm. Did you play Dragon Quest VIII, which seems like a pretty big number for a game that totally exists? Or did you get real fucked up and make this up and we're all falling for it?
No, it's a real game.
This sounds
you can
ridiculous.
do
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
There's like
Dingus,
14 of them now.
Domingus, Antony, and
Dolmagus and Yangus. I'm telling you, it's a kind of a weird game.
I've got a
Is it a JRPG?
Oh, well,
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
So it's
How
kind
is one a little JRPG?
Its mother was Japanese. Its father was American.
it's like a Jew thing.
Much like how Angelo's
like the
mom
last,
is Italian.
like
But
the
his
television
pop
show
isn't.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, so the 4 of you eventually pick up the other 2 people in your party through doing some quest stuff, and you go around and you, so it's turn-based fighting. So what you do is like you're running around and stuff, and eventually it just kind of like Pokemon, where you just kind of phase into a battle.
Random encounters.
You've triggered it. And there's a whole bunch of weird creatures that you can fight. Like the first thing you come across is a slime, which is just this like
One slime.
drop-shaped blue.
Every RPG
Slime.
has like a
Slime.
generic blob enemy.
I
yeah.
think it's like it's the oldest Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
trope. Yeah.
From
they have-
from D&D to like the first Legend of Zeldas to Dark Souls, they all have blobs. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so there's from slime things to these little like miniature squid creatures you can counter that are children, and sometimes on their turn they're too busy literally doodling with their pen that they have on the ground.
So you're fighting
respond.
children?
Yeah. So to these like weird like succubus kind of things where one of their moves is to like shoot their boobs at you and try to like
seduce you.
It's like a flirt move.
That's my main
think.
weakness.
Which Jessica,
Boob
one of your party members, can also learn.
Sorry, can't get
She can also learn
Boob
to like flirt.
She can do the boob tootin' too.
She can do the boob toot too.
Damn it! What didn't Diddy do?
No, but it's like kind of weird in like a very disturbingly like sexual way.
Confused boner.
Yeah.
Do you use it on the children?
No. I mean, I guess you could try to like seduce these squid creatures if you wanted, but it's very strange. There's some strange parts where
JRPG.
like it's clearly too sexual for the encounter, but they do it anyway.
Wait. I don't think
Wait,
you need
what?
any longer to say it's very strange.
It
We
is very
all
strange.
agree.
Everything
This is
since you
No.
started has been
But
strange.
it's good though.
I don't even get it.
the boob
I know.
tootin' boogie.
But so far, I gather it's fucking weird. And it's a
just weird enough. where
quasi
it's-
JRPG,
Yeah.
open world, random encounters, turn based
It's just
Boob
weird
tootin'.
enough where you're like, oh, this is a
And boobs
strange
and
creature
tootins
to encounter.
together.
But it's still good though. There's dungeons that you go into, which some of it's just fighting and some of it's actual puzzles. And there's a maze in one room and something, so it has a nice balance between puzzle and just fighting your way through creatures. The item system in the game is actually pretty good. So you have like each character has all the slots of different things they can carry, and then you have just a bag which can carry infinite things.
Okay,
So
so
you
there's
don't have
no
to
like
run into
weight
that.
limit,
No, there's
Okay.
not. There's no weight limit.
but there's
because
still
you
like
have your-
inventory management and like
Kind of. Not really, because it doesn't really matter what the characters are holding aside from their equipment that you have to equip. But
Okay.
there's, I think,
counts.
like 16 slots, and there's not a weight to it. It's just it takes up a slot or not.
Okay.
So you can have like your
classic
your-
Final Fantasy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have your armor, you have like a hat or helmet that you can wear. There's an accessory that you can have. There's like the clothing you can wear, and like your weapon and shield if you have one. Some enemies will drop items, some things you can find in chests that are strewn throughout the world, but the main way that you get all your weapons is from buying them in the different towns that you go to, or like you'll maybe encounter a random caravan that's in a couple different places on the map.
So very, very strong RPG
Yeah.
in terms
But
of
what's nice is that it's easy to get money in the game. You get gold from every encounter that you get and experience as well, but you get a good amount of gold, so you can get up to like a few thousand pretty easily. And some of the right now I'm in level like 27, 28 right now, and the highest I've been up to is like level 60 something. So I don't know what it really maxes out at, but like there's a boomerang that my one character, I have him with boomerangs, and I think it was like a 4,000 coin boomerang. Frank just walked in.
And dropped a
With
fork
food.
that is now stuck to his shirt, I think.
Turn.
That's impressive.
All right.
The plastic fork was magnetically attracted to Frank's hip bone.
as I often am.
That's all we need.
Oh, no.
Microphone down.
All right, you're deported.
All right, Lisa.
We ordered Chinese
Yeah.
food, and Frank
And Frank's
saw
dropping
fit to
stuff
just
everywhere.
barge on in here.
All right, so Lisa, go ahead and you do this section, then we'll take a Chinese break.
Yeah. So
Not a
what was
regular
I talking-
break.
I was talking about the items. So you can buy your items. It's not that hard to get the money to buy an item, but because you have 4 people and you find a shield that's really good in one town that's a little bit higher level, you have to buy 4 of them, right? Or
Wait,
you
why?
find like one, because you can't, like each person needs a shield.
Oh, okay. I
Right?
see what you mean.
Yeah. Or you find one armor that a couple of your heroes can wear. And this is the weird part again. Jessica, of course, she can wear like fishnet stockings is
Mm-hmm.
one thing of armor that she can wear, or
Hold
a
on.
bunny tail. There's bunny ears that you can make.
But I'm going to guess your
But it has armor
Okay.
and it's pretty good.
Okay. But can anyone else wear this?
No.
Or just Jessica?
No, just Jessica. She can only wear the slutty fishnet outfit.
That's
Just her.
racist.
That's very
I
weird.
mean, sexist.
No, it's
I
racist.
mean,
It's racist.
yeah, it's racist.
But the item
It's
system is
something.
pretty good. You don't always find.
I'm triggered.
So your characters can have a range of weapons that you can have them like level up skill slots for. So I have mine with a boomerang. One has a sickle. I have Angela with a bow, and then Jessica, I have her with like a sorcerer's staff. She's pretty good with magic. So there's magic and like spells in the game too.
And it looks like a stripper pole.
One part that I do kind of like is they do have an alchemy crafting part of the game.
Oh.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. But it's not as intensive as one might find in other games. It's more of you have to find, say you want to make, like one recipe you can find is a feathered hat. So you need to find a hat and something with feathers, and you put them in the pot, and then it'll tell you if it's going to make the item or not. And then you have to walk around, it's kind of like hatching an egg, and when it dings, then you can go back into the inventory and see what you made.
Okay.
So it's not like, oh, I found like a piece of fabric, and I found like, you can't break things down, and you know what I mean? Like not parts, but you can find different items, and then you just kind of like put them together.
So how's the combat in the game?
So I mentioned it was turn-based, so it's kind of weird. So it's a random encounter. There's the 4 of you, obviously, and then there's the group of enemies, and it doesn't tell you what your, like, what turn you're gonna be. It just, you pick all your actions for your characters. You can have them like dodge or like block, kind of. You can have them attack or use a spell. You can try to flee, or use an item. There's healing items and such in the game if you need to use it. And you choose all your actions, and then I guess it kind of randomly decides who on what side is going to go first in what order. So if you have like your agility leveled up, you have a pretty good chance of going first. But it seems to change every round.
Oh.
So say there's 6 enemies and there's 4 of you, like maybe 3 of you will go, and then some of the enemies will go, and then your last person will go. And say maybe you kill one of the enemies on the first round. It'll kind of change up. Like the one that died, like it doesn't seem to be the same turn order. It's really weird.
Bizarre.
It's a little weird, and I don't really like that part. But the combat's good. There's, you know, things that can stun you or put you to sleep, or you can do like lightning or ice or fire damage or something like that. Some of the weapons can do like hit multiple people at a time, but really it's just like you select an ability or an attack or something and attack them until they die. But like the leveling with the creatures as you move throughout the world, like levels pretty well with how you are. So nothing's ever too incredibly difficult or too incredibly easy.
Okay, so the enemy scaling is good.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you happen to like go on a weird part of the map that you really shouldn't be at, and then you get crushed by some giant monster, which can happen. They do have a nice little feature where there are, so the encounters with the enemies, you can't see them as you're running around the map, but there are some special ones that you can. And you encounter like the special slime or something, and it has like a whole bunch of extra XP, and it's super strong, and you get a monster token.
Oh.
Which you can sell for a lot of gold. Like a copper one's 200, a silver one I think is 500, and I think a gold one's like 1,000 coins. So that's kind of cool.
Is there a magic system? Like, is it all melee combat or
no? So you can have like 2 of my characters have a ranged weapon, like a boomerang, which automatically hits all the like enemies, which is nice. There's also like a bow, and Jessica has a staff, which increases her magic powers. So you can level up your character, and like as they level up, some of them will learn spells. I think it's kind of preset. Some of them will learn spells, or because I have Jessica like leveling up her sorcery or whatever, she learns more spells, so she has a lot of attack spells. But there is, every character has like a magic bar, like a mana bar or whatever, and it's just like when you run out of those points, you can't use it. But you can
that
like
interaction, or
just in general, like your HP, like you'd have to go and heal or something.
Okay.
Like the healing system in the game is you have to go to an inn or something and you sleep, and then you gain back all your health.
So have you had any big are there missions, or are you just playing through like level progression to a boss?
No, there's kind of, I mean, there you go through like the story. So you start out in one town, and then from there you kind of find out that you're looking for Dolmagus, the jester guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, because that's what your mission is. It's only you and Yangus at this point when you first start out. And then you talk to some people, and you find out that there's this like fortune teller there who might have an idea about where Dolmagus is, but he lost his crystal ball in some cave that's not too far from the town. So you have to, make your way over to the cave, and then it's in this like waterfall cave thing, and then you have to go through the dungeon cave and make your way, and then there's like a little boss dude, and you have to fight him, and then when you fight him and defeat him, he like gives you the magic ball back. And so it kind of progresses like that, like the story, like you have to go through the next town, and then the next town is where you pick up one of the other characters or something, or you do something else. So it's pretty linear in the progression in that sense.
But you could navigate pretty much anywhere.
You could, especially once partway through the game, you eventually find this ship that through magical means you like resurrect from a desert.
Okay.
So you have a ship that you can go to all the different continents from, and you can go to a lot of different places. But in terms of the story, you can't really progress through the full extent of the particular like chapter at that place until you're at the right part of the story.
Okay. So how much of this game have you played? How much time do you think you put into it?
So it actually tells you every time you save, it actually has the timestamp. So I think I've put about 20 hours or so into the game.
Do you think you'll finish it?
Oh, absolutely. I've played through it once before and I've beat it, but this was back when I was young, like maybe middle
Like
school.
300 years old?
Yeah, about then in my childhood.
All right. So do you recommend it to a friend?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually I found out that they're still making the games. I think there's like 14 or 15 of them.
Holy shit.
Roughly up to right now, and they're for PS4. So when I eventually get my PS4 that I want to get, I definitely want to pick up one of the newer ones and see what they've done with it.
A lot of people have described Thank you. A lot of people have described the series as, I don't want to say like a knockoff Final Fantasy, but like a lesser Final Fantasy.
They're very similar in terms of gameplay, but it's fun. It's fun. It's a good story. It's easy to learn how to play. Like it's not particularly difficult, but it's entertaining enough that as you're going through, it's very entertaining. And I've been having a lot of fun replaying it. I don't remember much of it, which is good. So there's a lot of it that I feel like I'm playing through for the first time because I'd only played it once and it was a long time ago. So I definitely would recommend it. If you're into those kind of games, it's definitely a fun one to pick up. I'm sure the other ones are good too. As I said, I've only played 8. Not 8 of them, only 8. But I think it's fun. I don't know how much they are. I haven't really checked.
Can't be all that expensive.
But it's for the PS2 is the one I
Especially
have.
the older ones.
Yeah.
Well,
so I think they were all PlayStation games.
I bet they're all on fucking Steam or something.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You know what? I never maybe heard of it, didn't know anything about it, but I think I'm gonna have to pick that up.
Yeah. No, it's a good time.
Give me 14 games to play through. All right, we're gonna take a quick Chinese food break. We're gonna do a little boob tootin', and then we'll be right back. Boop tootin' boogie. Boop tootin' boogie. Speaking of brilliant music like that I just sung for you. I singed it. Jake's been on a bender, a sound bender for what, 3 weeks now, you were saying?
2
weeks?
would it be a fender bender?
Nope.
No fenders.
Gibson's only.
Who is it
My
you've been
bad.
hooked on? Lorne?
Lorne. Lorn. Like
Lorn.
corn or
Lorn.
porn with an L.
Forlorn.
So not only is there a music element to these music videos, but there's a video element. And that's what you showed us a couple of weeks ago. Shit's pretty wild.
Well, the music video is an art unto itself, right? Because some of them are just fucking bad. Some great songs have shitty videos, and vice versa.
You mean in general?
In general,
Yeah.
across the board. And then some, most of them are fine or good. Some of them knock it out of the park for a variety of different reasons, right? And every single one of Lauren's official videos, in my opinion, mostly because I like trippy animated stuff, knocks it out of the park, both in music and in video and in the two together.
I gotta say, everything that you've shown me, I sit there going, I've never seen anything like this. It's like some of it's surreal, some of it's more artistically colored than I'm used to. I say the timing is impeccable with how the animation or the videography or whatever lines up with the sound of the song. A lot of attention.
I believe they call that Foley in film.
Oh, okay.
Or Foley.
It's impressive all around, even to somebody who's not familiar with the music. And the music is pretty fucking good itself.
Lauren is an electronic musician from the United States. I forget exactly where. I don't remember his real name either. That's unfortunate. Hispanic fella, grew up in the U.S. and had a rough life. There's a written interview you can find on him if you're interested, but I won't get into that right now. Like so many great artists, they often have a traumatic past, and he definitely does. And it comes forward in really, really excellent music if you're into electronic stuff and sweet beats. Very dark, very atmospheric.
What if you like bitter beats?
I mean,
Or sour
his beats,
Spicy beats.
if any beats are bitter or spicy, probably Lauren's.
Bittersweet beats
Yeah, bittersweet with a bit of spice
from Shroot Farms.
and just dripping with groove. Very like hip hop influenced. Sorts of beats that have really cool synthetic accoutrement.
So I've got to say, I was remarking to Genevieve like a week or so ago. I could just say the other day because that's any time in the past. So the other day I said this. I have really, really liked how electronic music has progressed post EDM, like house music craze. When I was in college, it was sort of getting into that. And after I graduated, we played, when we would have our big house parties, there'd be some of that mixed in with more hip hop and rap and shit. And then I think for a period of time, the youngsters were just playing just straight up electronic music at these parties. And I always thought it was all right. But since that has sort of cooled, I have found that electronic incorporation has really nicely developed into a very strong supporting role, or it could be the main player in any given song, but it's more neatly folded into every other aspect. I've really liked how it has progressed, and I see Lauren as sort of the future, well, the current future or whatever. A great underscore to this path that I've enjoyed so much. It's not, that crazy
Yeah, it's not dubstep or anything.
right.
You know what? There was a time period in college where a lot of my friends listened to dubstep, and I tried to get into it. But I mean, even something that tried to appeal to my core robotic functions just really could not jive with my more human overlaid subroutines.
The neat thing, there's so many neat things about Lauren. A lot of my favorite music is like, really technical and like intense and but a whole other like atmosphere or hemisphere of my favorite music is minimalist, repetitive, and like with growing layers that play with each other. The music I make is kind of both at once. But Lauren is very much the latter of the two, and that appeals to some of the other bands that got me into music in the first place in a really new and creative way. And while it's certainly not dubstep, It is, with the exception of some vocal parts, and he does a lot of sampling too, but it's all electronically modified heavily, and it's very much electronic music. It's I think the most concise way to explain to someone is really dark EDM. Like dark, slow EDM, like slow to mid tempo.
Not like edgelord EDM.
No. I mean that's
got a heavier sound.
That would be it's a little heavier than what I would associate with an edgelord. Like he does stuff with just like the low register of sound that I think most producers of music, myself included, would only be able to make muddy and indistinct. And he doesn't. It is all crystal clear, and it's just like it just cracks through the crust of the earth, and like lets the fires of hell like lick some of those notes. It is brutal and it is beautiful, and that's why I love it.
I've had this hunger for my whole life for more bass, more deep tones in my music, and Lauren is sounding like he's gonna fill that niche pretty well.
No.
He does have like more ambient stuff too, but I was saying to you guys earlier, for the past 2 weeks that I've been listening to him heavily, he at any given moment something of his has been stuck in my head, be it a beat or a bass line or a melody. He doesn't often do vocal parts, but when he does, a lot of them are really, really cool. Anvil, the one tune in particular, was the first video and song of his that I saw at the same time. That wasn't. I found him through the Fury soundtrack, a game I've talked about in prior episodes. It has such a great fucking soundtrack. All of whom are electronic producers, but that's just part of a much greater cascade of YouTube, holes I've fallen down, and this is just one more path along that along that tree. But he's just real dark and really intense. He does lots of sweet layering, lots of cool vocal effects. But Anvil, 3 notes, right? It's fa, la, and do for you solfeggers out there. It's just a very simple chord progression with these 3 bass notes on bottom that I could hear for the rest of my life because it's just hummed in his voice. It serves as like not the bass line. There's something else happening underneath it, but it's really fucking low that it could just be an independent bass line. So it's more like a bass melody, which he does a lot of, and it's him humming with all kinds of sweet effects on it, and it melts perfectly with the rest of what's going on. There's like a really like echoey, chattery high register happening, a really sweet groove, and the video is a whole story unto itself, and kind of what took us really down this path of music videos and how these things are cool. Anyone want to comment on that for? Because I'll describe the video too.
Yeah, I found that music videos have really nicely grown in that, or maybe just I'm noticing them more. It back in the day, it seemed to be like just people dancing or singing along with the music, and that was fun. And then
it still happens.
Big dramatic ones, and then there were artsy ones that were so very heavy-handed. As people fleshed out that style and started to explore it. Not saying there's anything wrong with that, but we've gotten to this point where I'm continually pleasantly surprised by these videos from artists or producers or songs that I wouldn't expect to be artistically remarkable. Like, it's not so much that they're trying to say something. They're like, I'm just going to make something different, and it's going to be really, really cool. And then I sit down and I watch it and I go, that is fucking cool. I was getting into, and I wasn't sure how to work to this because there's like 3 different ways to get to it. So I did a little bit of dubstep. I did dubstep. I was getting into dubstep a little bit when I was in college, and I enjoyed, the big names that you think of, like Skrillex or whatever. Didn't love it or anything. I spent a little time trying to get into what was apparently called like chill step. An artist, Blackmill, has the songs that I really enjoyed, like an album I can actually listen all the way through. So much more low-key electronic, really bass heavy, which I love, and then every once in a while lower or layer female vocals over top, which turns out I really enjoy with my bass stuff. And then I got to a point where I was like, I just can't find, like, I like these artists with their songs, and I can't really expand into this genre consistently unless I put in a shitload of work. So I sort of fell off that for a while. And then I'm not sure how it happened. I think it was because he recently died, but you guys heard of Lil Peep?
I didn't hear about him until after he died.
Yeah, he died. He overdosed on like Xanax or something on his tour bus, and I was reading about it, and he had some really, really
Can I
loyal
just point
fans.
out to our audience that Bill's hand signal or Bill's body language for reading about something is to flap his hands like a seal? Did you not notice he did that?
That's because I was reading it in Braille.
Yeah,
well,
very
that makes
quickly.
more sense.
Yeah, I was reading.
But I just thought I wanted to point that out to paint the total picture.
Yeah, I was reading
to our
the,
audience.
I was reading the YouTube comments in Braille.
It's all just shaped like penises. It doesn't actually say anything. It's just all penises.
Yeah, but I know how to interpret that.
It's all context.
So, I apparently I had stumbled across one of his previous songs, and it was like, it was interesting. I looked at him, and I was just like, this seems like too over the top, but the music sounded okay. I sort of dug it, but I couldn't really get into the whole persona. So, it was falling down a YouTube hole, and I skipped right over him. But then he died, and I looked at some more of his music, and I realized it was the same person. And looked him up. He's from Allentown, interestingly enough.
Relatively close to us.
Yeah, because he has like, he would talk really weird, but I was like, is he fucking Russian or something? No, from Allentown, just got a style. And
No, I'm saying
he does vocally something I really enjoy. Genevieve pointed it out. There's sort of this echo effect. And when he raps, it's sort of like a half yell. And she's like, that sounds like some Linkin Park shit. And I was like, I knew I liked
Yeah,
this
it
effect
sounded
from
like it.
somewhere,
Is it almost like a pitched scream?
Not quite a scream, just a step below it.
Okay.
Still an aggressive rap with like an echo effect in the background. But it's sort of that like almost mumble rap style where they sound like they're on drugs or whatever, real relaxed. And like the whole feeling, I really enjoyed it. The guy's timing was really good by my assertion. So I started listening to it, and I was like, oh shit, this is really good. And he was looped into me when I was doing some reading on like Reddit in the background of him. They're like, oh yeah, he's another SoundCloud rapper. And I kept hearing this term used sort of like in a derogatory sense, SoundCloud rapper. I'm like,
Fuck you! I'm a SoundCloud metalhead.
it's a houndhouse
like, what are we're gonna fucking shame like or disparage these no-name individuals who use a medium with no barrier to entry to make it big. Like I think Lil Peep did that, Extentacion did that. I can only remember these guys because they're both dead now. And then they got famous. Good for fucking them.
Yeah, right.
But interestingly, it seems that a lot of the rappers that are big right now, this little fucking who does Gucci Gang?
I don't know.
no idea.
Whatever rapper does that song, and they're wearing these like really bright neon colors in this really goofy style, and their hair's dyed all these different colors. Like even Lil Peep, he called himself like goth boy, but it was like he was a sad neon goth. It's really, really interesting. And the more I watch it, I'm like, you know what? I really fucking like this. I like these colors. I like that it's not bragging about grabbing your dick and fucking women and whatever. And they're like, people make fun of it because some of the songs are sadder. Ooh, I'm so sad. But I kind of feel it. You know what I mean? They're like, I don't know. They're like, I'm young, but my life kind of sucks. And I take drugs to deal with it. And sometimes I feel lonely, but I like that I have you there. So I was getting through it. All this stuff working together, I found it to be really engaging. But when I started watching Lil Peep, I was watching his videos. I've been listening to it. I listened to it 10 times in a day or 20 times in a day. And the song is stuck in my head, especially one of his older ones, Awful Things. But it's he partners up with this guy, Marshmello. who
I've heard some Marshmallow.
Yeah, if you're familiar with Dead Mouse,
he's like EDM.
Yeah, Dead Mouse wears a big dumb mouse head on his head, and this guy Marshmallow wears a big dumb marshmallow head on his head. And I was like, ugh, this fucking tryhard goober, right? Wrong. Wrong. Okay.
Wrong.
This guy's music is tighter than fuck, man. And he doesn't. He's in it's a song with Lil Peep called Spotlight, I believe, and it's Lil Peep rapping over it, and this modern EDM in a really nice supporting role. Like it's not there so that you don't notice it. You're definitely getting that, like, you know, the music is really the nature of the electronic music itself is an appeal to the song, but it's not overwhelming, right? A strong rapping personality and a strong EDM personality are not conflicting. They're working really, really well together. And the pitfalls that I see a lot of the other EDM fall into with these like major big drops that like have almost become cliched, where you know, which has its place, but he doesn't do that here. It doesn't go like too over the top in any direction. It's just, it feels really nicely refined. And it's interesting because both these artists, Lil Peep and Marshmallow, seem to be relatively young and inexperienced. So I don't know where they got all this fucking talent from. I guess some people are just naturally really good at it, or maybe they worked their asses off in their fucking teen years. And on top of that, the video, it's like a slow motion shoot of this girl enters a diner. Not exactly orthodox looking in her look. She's wearing like a motorcycle outfit with these bright, crazy neon colors, looking at some other guy. Like there's just weird looking people all over the diner interacting. This guy, I guess she used to be involved with, sitting at the end, looking grumpy, wearing like a greaser's leather jacket. And she leaves as the song plays on, and she's riding this wicked motorcycle with flashing neon lights all over it that go in time with the music. The whole thing, it's like 5 different distinct, really fucking cool things put into one video that I never would have suspected if I just looked at, like, you know, judge the book by its cover. I am so excited by where music and video making and like the new music of the youth, because I consider myself old now, has progressed. I'm loving every minute of it. It is blowing me away. And the thing is, I don't want to say they're a dime a dozen now, but there's so much good shit out there now, right?
Interestingly, without the aid of places like MTV.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
Suck on that.
Shots fired.
One thing that I've noticed is that in a lot of songs now they're listing the producers. You know how they do like featuring whoever? They're doing, you know, produced by X or whatever, directed by whoever. I mean, oh my God.
As it should have always been, because these have always been like, you know, a union of artistic media.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm going to latch on to one facet of what you mentioned, and that was the incorporation of a diner. Because there is a great Lawrence song whose music video is a diner. The song is called Acid Rain. We watched it off mic. And this Childish Gambino video I pulled up, which I know Frank has seen. I've seen many times. I don't know about you guys. But Childish Gambino, Sweatpants, featuring Problem. And it also features a diner. And they all 3 of these videos, I can't speak for the one you brought up, but I know these 2 at least, and therefore I'm sure the third, each use the same setting very differently in the course of their...
Very true.
You know,
well, I'll get to
in the visual presentation.
I'll tell you this much. So the girl leaves on her motorcycle. She goes home and gets a shower or something. She comes back to the diner, and it appears that her ex-boyfriend had like robbed the place and smashed it up. So I don't know, maybe if that happens in any of these other videos, but I think maybe the diner is so stupendous as a setting because it is very believably a cross-section of America, right? Like, everybody likes a diner, and whether or not you're, you know, a well-to-do doctor or a dirty drunk, you're going to end up at a diner at some time, and you can be there at the same time. You know, it's like the way Anthony Bourdain described Waffle House, like a beacon of guiding light. welcoming everyone, regardless of creed and race or anything like that. You come to Waffle House and you get a good cooked meal, and it's done right in front of you, you know? And I think that any diner anywhere is a believable setting for having any sort of people. So maybe that's why these music videos like it so much. Maybe.
I mean, I know of at least two. There's a second Gambino video, at least one other, where he's, I don't know if I think it was a pizza shop as opposed to a diner, but similar, the restaurant, right? Where he's like, he does a lot of really cool dance choreography in that video. Can't remember the name of the song. I don't know if you happen to know.
I don't remember.
It's cool.
Yeah, the only thing that I'd like to point out is that the Broad Street Diner in South Philly at 2:30 in the morning is an interesting place to be, and does have that cross section of people that you would expect.
Yeah.
Also, none of this, like all of these music videos and artists, pale in comparison to the real Mr. Homicide, who you should definitely look up.
Real Mr. Homicide.
The real Mr. Homicide, and you should definitely look him up and watch everything that he has. And just devote your life to it.
Is this going to be like a Vermin? What was it?
Vermin
Supreme, yeah.
Very nearly.
It is not nearly as well done as Vermin Supreme, but it is almost, if not more, entertaining.
Oh my goodness.
That was on Drunken Peasants last night, wasn't it? Fucking lunatic. Anyway, so I kind of want to just give like a rundown of these different. These are the other two music videos. We started with Lauren.
Sure. So I'm going to
put a pin in it and talk about Sweatpants by Childish Gambino, in which it's rap song. If you don't know Childish Gambino, you should check him out. Much more on the intellectual side of rap, which I very much like.
Donald Glover's cousin?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. In no way is he the same person.
Or maybe they dated. I don't know.
He's a
both.
He's a Renaissance man, for sure. But the song starts. I honestly don't remember the lyrics enough to get into the song as deeply.
I'll take you to the pizza shop.
That's definitely how it goes. And he walks into the diner and he's already rapping. As he's walking to his table, he sits down with some friends and he's rapping into the camera the whole time as the conversations are happening. Waitresses are running by, yada yada. He eventually gets up, walks out of the other. This diner has two front doors, which is I've seen before. Walks out the other front door, and there's like other people outside. Someone's smoking, I think. Someone's on their cell phone, whatever. Still talking. Walks around to the other entrance, comes back in. Similar story. Life has continued past this point. Gets back to his table, but everyone at the table now has his face.
Okay.
And I believe they're all staring at him. But everyone else in the diner is normal. And then he goes through a few lines and gets up, does the same thing, goes out the other exit. Things have changed slightly. Comes back in. Everyone in the diner has his face, and they're all staring at him. And it's just like there may be deeper meaning to it, but at the minimum, it's like low key nightmare fuel. It's a little bit of Apex Twin, which is another electronic artist, way off the deep end in terms of insanity. And he has a thing for putting his own distorted evil grin face on the characters in his music videos. This is not quite as over the top as that in the Childish Gambino, in that it's just like his own blank stare, and they're all staring at him as opposed to the camera trying to creep the viewer out directly. But it's just a really cool visual, and I wish I knew the song better to get into it, to try to extrapolate something deeper. But at bare minimum, it's a music video in the diner that's really interesting and strange, and I like it a lot.
I miss the days when you could smoke in diners.
Right?
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not even a smoker.
Yeah, I don't smoke. But there was a diner growing up. There was a diner in my hometown that was just a rundown dump. And it had such incredibly cheap food. And again, the strangest, the most motley crew of patrons would assemble at this place, and it was open 24/7. So you could go there at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, whatever. And the people that you would find there would be you would look at them and you would know that somewhere there is a rock that has been turned over that has not seen daylight in a very long time. But this place has been around for a very long time, decades, in my hometown. And because you could smoke in it, it was a very popular spot for those who did like to smoke and maybe, you know, have their coffee and cigarettes to sit down and smoke and drink coffee for a while. Well, when they finally instituted the ban in Pennsylvania that you can no longer smoke in basically any restaurant whatsoever, I remember they started to like change the wallpaper or paint or something. This place had yellow stains. Like the wall was not the color that you thought it was. That was all smoke stains.
That's disgusting.
And I don't think I can ever go back to the place. It'll never have the same taste again.
The same smoky, nasty taste.
Yep. That's something that, you know, you're never going to see that again.
Well, the other diner-based video that's kind of circling back to my love of Lorne, my recent love affair with everything he makes, the tune Acid Rain we just watched. It starts with a shot of a car, a classic-looking convertible, smashed into a light pole.
This thing was cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
and the driver, a cheerleader, all the windows are smashed out. She cuts her hand on the glass as she's opening the door and stumbles out and stumbles into a classic looking diner. But it's a dance video. So she's like also doing all these like really well choreographed, really interesting dance moves. I'm no dance aficionado, but everything in this video spoke to me in a way that jived with the rest of the atmosphere of the video and the music itself, and the story that was being told. It made sense to me because of how it was aided by the other things going on. But she gets into the diner. She kind of leans over the jukebox, and, kind of staggering, wounded in the moments where she's not actually, choreographed dancing. And the camera's like pulling backward now across the counter. And there's a second girl, also wounded, kind of eyeballing a fresh milkshake. There's no patrons. There's no staff.
I could go for
and a cheerleader.
And this other girl's also a cheerleader. And then they have like a duo dance down toward the camera across the counter, and then they break with a musical transition where there's like an episode in the music where there's it's clearly transitional. There's like some new melodies being introduced, and they meander into the kitchen, and the first cheerleader goes outside, the other one we lose track of, and the camera pans over to a third cheerleader who then has her own little dance routine through the kitchen, and then she climbs out a window in the back of the restaurant and then meets up with all the other girls, and now there's 5 of them, and they have a choreographed routine. And I don't know, just like the motions they were making kind of like seemed to echo the fact that they were they're all battered and like bleeding, and they might have been cheerleaders, but we were talking about off mic, there was no sex appeal intended.
That's what I really enjoyed. It was a neat video with like so many of the videos I watch, I feel like they add pussy popping and ass shaking and all that stuff.
And this had some of that, but it wasn't about that.
Yeah, it was kind of like hip hoppy, the dance, but like as you said, Jake, not in a sexual way at all, even though they were all wearing cheerleaders outfits. But it was just like they didn't
have
them.
thongs on underneath.
No,
they had
no,
like
no.
short shorts.
Yeah.
So okay, you saw leg enough to make them not look out of place as a cheerleader.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because it wasn't about that. It was about, they were dancing out almost the experience they had in getting into this car accident. And then, after the routine, the first girl we saw winds up kind of stepping to the front of a group of 5 and is clearly like sort of the main character of the whole affair. And she kind of like grabs her gut as if she's hurt again, while the others are kind of transitioning, closing out the dance because the dancing is done at this point. And then the camera switches. It's just her, and she's just kind of staring into the camera, like holding her wounds, just kind of looking bewildered. And then it pans down to she and the rest of the girls are back in the car again, still slumped in their dying positions. And it was just like
It's kind of
they were trying to come to terms with their fucking death.
right.
And oh my God.
I think a part of the thing that was so engaging about the dance moves was that they were impressive, and they weren't sexually motivated at all, is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Although these are like good looking people, it was funny because when the video first started, this girl dressed up as a cheerleader gets out. I'm like, she's got some muscular ass legs, man. And then she starts dancing. I'm like, oh, she's a professional dancer. That makes total sense. But other than that, it wasn't like, it wasn't about drinking in a club and look at how hot these hoes are or whatever the fuck. It was an interpretation of a story that they were trying to tell. And holy shit, was it engaging. And it was tight, man. Like,
how well did the music fit, though?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. But before we get down that road, what I completely failed to mention is that all of the entire physical motion is in slow-mo. Not like they deliberately tried to move slow. They recorded it at a faster pace and slowed it down to the beat of the song on purpose.
Yeah.
So like the hair just takes a bit too long to settle, and as do their skirts and all that, and that has its own sort of meta effect over the whole feel that matches up with the slow beat and the slow melodies. Is the
it kind of gives it like a surreal, eerie feeling.
Yeah.
Just to add to the music and the situation that they're acting out.
So it wasn't like one long shot. It might have been 3 separate shots.
It was made to look that way.
Yeah. But it might have been 3 separate shots, but still in a 3-minute music video. That's pretty impressive. And one thing that I tend to like to do is watch groups of people dancing and look sort of towards the back and see why everybody got placed where, because the strongest dancers are in the front, ones are in the less strong are in the back. Everybody in this video was like a fucking military operation. Every little like knee twist and hair flip and everything was perfectly in time. It was unbelievable. This was just so well made, and it was really different, and it was really a good kind of different that I enjoyed, Yeah, and like I'm still kind of digesting what I was supposed to see. Like, were they coming to terms with their own death? Was it a story leading up to their death? Like, what the fuck was going on, And it's something I got to spend a little more time with, but it was pretty darn cool.
Yeah, I mean, it is just a 3-minute music. It's a lot of Lauren's music is pretty short, sub like 3 minutes is on the slightly longer side for most of his music, but yeah, just like the way. I mean, I looked at the lyrics to that tune, "Acid Rain." Again, I don't remember what they are exactly, but they don't necessarily tell the same story, at least not in any overt way. Very kind of, there's not much there. I think it's one stanza repeated twice. But certainly poetic enough to be open to interpretation. I just haven't examined it that closely. But it definitely, I mean, the vibe of the piece, at minimum, was in perfect sync with the dance choreography, the videography, and the whole video package as a whole. And it's just such a tight little case in point for what a quality music video can be. Like 10 out of 10 in my opinion.
So interestingly, off the top of my head I can think of another couple of music videos I want to mention, and I will, but Lil Uzi Vert, he released that song EXO Life Tour.
Oh, right.
Or EXO Tour Life. But it's the song, "All my friends are dead, push me to the end, all my friends are dead." Yeah, I know you. I don't know you don't know it, but our listeners may. And
by that,
we were listening
beautiful
to
sample.
We were listening to "All My Friends Are Dead, Push Me to the Edge." Everybody knows that song. Who knows that song? We'll know that line. So before there was an official music video released, which. Maybe before I found it anyway, there was like an unofficial one, and it was an artistic like digital painting of Lil Uzi Vert in a car smoking a blunt, I think with a little bit of smoke coming off the end of it, driving along looking real fucking faded with red and blue rings going past the window of the car. So the only thing that moves are the rings and the smoke, and he's just like riding along in the car, and I play the song over and over and over again with this visual, and I really, really like it a lot. So there's an official video out with he's got like dudes in the front like yelling at each other in front of the video, and then I think maybe another famous musician's in there right now. The Weeknd, I think he's in it. walking around, and Lil Uzi Vert puts in these fucking like white out your eyes contacts, and it's like it's this whole thing. He's trying to do this whole thing, and I'm like, okay, I don't like this one as much as I like the one with just the rings moving and the smoke blowing. I think that suits the whole song so much better. I mean, he's the artist; he can do whatever he wants. But it's pretty interesting because I don't know how many examples where I would just prefer the almost not anything video over.
I think I may have played for you guys a different video last time off the mic. Lucine, Just a Cloud. Does that ring a bell? It's just like a lady on a bus with her headphones on, with like it's just a straight shot of her face with her eyes closed, listening to music, and it's just like lights going by her. It sounds very similar, and I think you'd probably dig the shit out of it.
It's sort of getting into meme territory now, but it's like lo-fi beats to study to.
Yeah, I've seen memes.
Yeah, and they're like 24/7 radio stations on YouTube that you can listen to that somebody's playing or whatever.
It's funny because there's like 100 of them, and they all have like some permutation of lo-fi, chill beats, study to, like trip hop. It'll just be like a string of keywords in the title of the stream.
Yeah,
and then they're all like the same, but just in different order.
And it's all very similar looking Asian girls reading a book,
or it's just like kaleidoscope like visuals, you know.
Well, the 8 that I've seen are all little Asian girls, many from Spirited Away, like with a rainy window, like something moving in the background, like a cinematograph, like rain on the window, and like a cat that wags its tail every once in a while, and then the girl adjusts her headphones, and it just loops on that for like 90 seconds, which I quite enjoy. But side note, if you've never heard of a cinematograph, I don't know if that's a popularly known thing, but there's a subreddit for it, and people just take like high res images and they animate one aspect of it. So it'd be like a cabin in the woods, and they just have the smoke coming out of the chimney looping, and everything else is perfectly still. Pretty neat if you're into that kind of, if you like dorking around on the internet. But
and if you don't, then why are you listening to our podcast?
So some other videos that I really have enjoyed for different reasons. I know I hammered on Little Peeper, apparently is how I say it.
Yes, hello, I'm looking for Little Peep.
He's in the ground.
Got him.
I think the Zan's got him. He has another song, well, Awful Things, I mentioned that, but it's like, it's pretty funny. It takes the piss out of high school. Like, there's a school mascot. It's a hot dog. His school's mascot is a hot dog, and it later catches on fire in the video. And
awesome.
He looks fucking out of place. It's him and his friends in a car, and there's like, they show a bunch of empty pill bottles on the floor, and I'm like, oh, here we fucking go. Then I watch it, and he like walks in late, and the old white teacher fat guy slaps him and gives him detention. And he has to write on the board, and he meets this girl in the bathroom. And right as they're getting ready to make out or whatever the fuck it is. It's making out. I know what making out is. I don't know why I edged that.
What is?
So like,
you're saving it for retirement.
She the girl like moves towards him, and right as the music is about to like get more bass heavy, the lights cut out and a black light turns on, and it's not your black light, strobe light with like black light characteristics starts to flash, but it's not as quick as your normal strobe light. It's more like
blinking.
Yeah, but it speeds up as it goes on, and it's wild because I didn't realize all the colors that they had the characters wearing are really vibrant under black light. And even the girls' fingernails, which are just white, so you don't even notice it, under the black light, they pop up really vibrant. All that fucking neon accessories they have on light up. The walls are different. It's a sweet transition. I was like, oh shit, I love this. So I got hooked on it initially for the visual stuff, but now I really like the song, and it runs through my head all the time. What else? What's some other good ones?
Anyone else? Let's put it to the floor. You guys have any music videos that kind of spring to memory for their various
So I remember
things?
there was one. It's like it's definitely the most incredible music video that I've ever seen. Right, it was from 1999. It was by a group called Smash Mouth, and I'll never forget the one kid put his hand with his finger and his thumb in the shape of an L on his forehead.
It really spoke to all of us.
It really did.
That's deep.
I'll never forget it. No, there is actually a good music video that I like. No, I shouldn't say that. That was the most incredible music video of all time, and I wish I could get my hair like that guy, the lead singer.
Like Guy Fieri, even though he won't admit it.
Spikes.
Yeah. Guy Fieri
my
took that
goodness.
guy's hairstyle and was like, how can I make this even more ridiculous?
I thought Guy
Frosting.
Fieri was Smash Mouth.
They're not the same.
I still don't believe they're not two. They're not
That's
one
the secret.
person.
It's the same person.
Well, they were, but they split to live different lives.
Like Danny Glover and Gambino.
exactly.
So, we watched Downtown, a music video by Macklemore. And this is one of those music videos that, to me, where the song by itself is a good song, and I like it, and there's nothing that particularly grabs me about it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not a huge rap person to begin with, like some. And when it comes to Macklemore, yeah, some of his songs are pretty cool. I'm not a big fan. I would never put it on if I was in the car or even sitting there and listening to music. That would never be something that I really put on. But the combination of the music video and the song that goes to it is such an interesting medley that it really creates its own art genre to itself, where it's, to me, neither the music video, nor the song that makes it a complete piece, but just the two together. That is what I enjoy, right?
Yeah.
So something a bit greater than the sum of its parts. Maybe.
Exactly.
It's a whole experience.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much about that video. I watched it. It made me think of Bruno Mars because I don't.
The sound is very similar, at least.
Well,
The dance moves.
Specifically, what I'm talking about is how in every one of his videos, it's like Bruno Mars and his 8 best friends that he employs, I suppose, which apparently is what you do when you make it big. You hire your best friends to do whatever. It's just like 8 guys fucking around, doing a really good job of dancing and whatever. But every one of Bruno Mars's videos seemed like just him and his friends like, yo, it'd be wild if we put on gorilla masks and danced around. The Macklemore video sort of had that quality, which made it fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, Macklemore, I think in general, one of his things seems to be that he'll make songs. People criticize him, I think, because he creates rap lyrics that are not serious, right? There's a lot of rappers out there who, whether it's political issues or social issues or life issues, they try and create some really deep. They try and create really deep lyrics that speak to people on multiple levels. And Macklemore just creates one about buying a moped and then going to fuck around town in.
That's what Downtown is about.
Yeah, that's what it's about. You go buy a moped and it's like, hey, this is awesome. I have a fucking moped.
And it's interesting because he's not a straight up comedic rapper like Lil Dicky.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're familiar with that, he's breaking into the mainstream now, but Lil Dicky is definitely a fuck around, legitimately skilled, but he makes some funny shit. Macklemore, I don't think has ever claimed to be a comedic.
Yeah. I mean, that there's a charm to that, right?
Yeah.
Like rap doesn't have to be, not that I'm any authority on it, but rap doesn't have to be super duper serial any more than metal does. You know?
were actually elected King Rap.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have so many black friends who would be furious to hear that.
That's a lie. One, you don't have friends.
True.
And that's all the evidence I need.
And of my non-friends, Frank's the only black one.
So what's another good... back in the day in college, I really enjoyed the visuals of Daft Punk's Around the World.
Yep, classic.
Those two Frenchmen who wear robot helmets. See, they've
with
already
the
got a
helmets
style.
today?
I don't
But
know, it's like music
Marshmallow helmet, mouse helmet.
I definitely... I remember... It's a very good song visually if you're enhancing your experience. Substantially.
Substantively?
Yeah, that's it.
Billiam? You're using substances while you watch your videos?
This is all hypothetical. I'm straight edge.
Why did you just say it like that? I'm
Of course.
straight edge.
So
Of course.
I always enjoyed that one.
Except for caffeine.
And then,
and alcohol.
well, I'm not a Mormon. I'm a Lessman.
Got him.
Anyway,
Self-burn.
there has been one band recently whose videos I really, really enjoy. Total shift from fucking Lil Peep or Daft Punk or whatever. The band is called Rings of Saturn. And they are, I would say, much more grindcore than like the melodic death metal I typically listen to. They're not quite Cannibal Corpse. If you're familiar with Cannibal Corpse, imagine the most technically complex sound that every single instrument involved in the band, all 9 instruments, could be committing at that moment, and then put all of those sounds together in such a way that anyone short of a supreme expert could not decipher what's going on. Some people really like that. It's a little bit much for me. But this band, I like this band straight up because...
I think you also just described Rite of Spring.
I've never heard of
To a
them.
point, yeah.
But
We'll get there.
Rings of Saturn, I found them after listening to like Born of Osiris, which is probably heavier. Anyway, you guys don't care about all this shit. The point is,
I like
they
that.
are... it's like 4 guys in high school, I think for a school project. They're like, yeah, we're going to make a band for this project. And they put it together. It was fucking sick. Like, maybe we should keep going. And they made 3 more albums. And a lot of it wasn't exactly my speed. And I think they brought in a new guy for this most recent album. Atula... It's like Ala Atula or something like that.
Oblongata.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Ula Ulta. That's what it is. And
Uvulum.
they've got 2 songs on there. Inadequate, which I had to work myself up to. And then the first one is Margita. Now, the band is called Rings of Saturn. They're a high school band that I guess is good enough that they wanted to keep on rocking. They do not take themselves seriously at all. All right? Like, so many metal bands out there, especially in this genre, had that crazy metal font for their album covers. It's like,
The one that looks like a deciduous hedge in winter.
yeah. Like, what was I? I was like, there was
Just a pile of twigs.
I
Correct.
stumbled off of Rings of Saturn onto like Fetus Destroyer, which is a serious band, and they sell
No.
T-shirts, and their lyrics are like, "Fuck you with a bloody dick, and then the babies happen, and we destroy them."
Yeah, that's my favorite song.
And people are like, "Man, I really like this. Wow, this writing. You guys are so fucking cool and intense." I'm like, okay. But Rings of Saturn, their music videos are like, it's just like the 5 of them standing in somewhere in California, because that's where they're from, with like an amber filter over it. Then quick, zip, zap, zoom, kaboom. They're on a space rock. Just fucking rocking out, and there's like 1990s era aliens in the fucking background doing the robot and like running around and jumping and doing jumping jacks, and none of the people on screen really act overly goofy or acknowledge it, but there's literally like 30 aliens like doing thumbs up and moonwalk and jumping, and
I can imagine it's just like their classmates and their friends dressed as aliens. Like,
no, it's really horrible CGI.
Oh.
And they even
Oh my god, so it's someone's just decided to put 30 aliens.
yeah, and they even have one as like, it looks, there's this really famous song in South America right now. Oh, fuck, I can't remember, but it looks like him. You'd know it. It's the alien with the fucking human feet that shakes its ass.
Yeah, that one.
You'd know, if you saw the video, you'd know it. But like, the one thing that's goofy is the guitarist looks at the screen and like sticks his tongue out and nods his head, but the rest of it, they seem to be totally serious. But there's like a knockoff Star Trek, like a starship blasting by, and there's like rock monsters that fall apart and then reassemble and then like do the monster mash. it's a great experience. And I was like, oh, cool. What a cool video. And then I move on to the next one. More of the same. Except this one's like a mush mud monster in a spaceship looking at the planet that they just rocked out on. And then there's some like really cool visuals in like 90s CGI style where they fly through a brightly lit spaceship that's as big as a moon itself. Oh my God. And they're all playing the straight man. None of them are hamming it up. I love it so much. Oh my God. And the best thing is this band is coming through this month.
Oh no.
And they're part of a festival and tickets are $25.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go. They are so tight, but like they're just taking the piss the whole time.
Wait, are they still in high school or have they graduated by now?
They've been in high school for about 15 years.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm like,
yeah, no, they graduated. They're
in 20th
well,
grade.
how many albums?
I think they have 3 albums.
Okay.
3 that I could find, and their most recent one is the one that I really enjoy. Pretty much any track on it's a lot of fun. But they do, I mean, they're not unskilled. One of my favorite comments was, I think it's cruel how this band makes octopuses play guitar and drums in all their songs because they're so like technically impressive. My other favorite comment is somebody put a timestamp at like 53 seconds. And they're like, if the aliens really look like this, we're all fucked. So I click on it. And it's just this huge alien with a green body, 12-pack abs, huge pecs, really muscled legs. It's like a super hot
jacked alien
with like a Ken crotch, but whatever. If they look like that, all us normies are fucked. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! If you're into that music at all, give it a shot. Give it at least one view because that video is a ton of fun. But and then you put on for us Korn's
Freak on a Leash.
classic
Yeah, that one with the
with Tasmanian Devil.
with yeah, sure. Well, it has like the cartoon intro and outro. Cop like falls and fires his gun at some kids. The bullet goes through a bunch of different settings. Right, all through the video in slow motion. It's pretty cool. Well, it won awards back in the day.
Yeah, it was like I talked to somebody who was actually old enough to be conscious of music at that time, because I was 7 in '98, and they were like, "Yeah, it was a big deal. It was like really, really cool."
If you tune to the local rock station and they put on Korn, you're most likely going to hear that song.
Right.
All right. Anybody else have a good video they want to share with the group? I mean, there's tons of great ones out there, but I think
I did spend a whole segment on Wardruna.
Yeah.
Their videos aren't necessarily not bad. They don't have a lot of them because they're much, I think, lower budget. Lauren, for the record, apart from I found him through the Fury soundtrack, he's also on the new the Killzone is going to be coming out or just recently came out. I forget which. Mm-hmm. He's done the soundtrack for that. He's been in a few movies. So he's kind of all over the map. But we talked about Acid Rain. That video is the only live action music video of his I've seen. The rest have been some kind of crazy animation. Several of them are like an 8-bit video game, like side-scrolling video game style.
Yeah.
But it is not from a game. It is for the video and synced up to it and everything. And others are more Anvil, which we mentioned on, is like a black and white. I mean, it also has a pretty cool story to it. But you guys remember, just look up Anvil by Lauren if you want to check it out, because it's just like a short quasi anime short music video story over a sick beat, and then others are even creepier than that. Time lapse footage of like obscure undersea creatures for that one tune.
Is that what it was?
All Corrupt Everything, I believe it's called. Yeah.
All I can say is that I am super excited to see where music has progressed to. I don't know if it, like, typically looking at the younger generation, people are curmudgeons by my age now. Like, well, it's goddamn music and their funny hair. But, like, I fucking love it. You know, like, in the industry in which I work, we deal with some loan origination. And the chatter is that this generation coming up is going to change the game because... You know, we were, our generation was like half analog, right? We grew up before digital was everywhere. And the kids 10 years younger than us and younger they have grown up with sophisticated digital assets their entire lives. And so, I always thought, I was like, oh, of course the people my age are going to be creative. And like, oh, we know how digital works. And I'm looking at this new shit, and it is blowing my fucking socks off, right? And it's not in that it seems that the new artists are really all that much more familiar with the capabilities of technology, but they have such a great ability to synthesize new content from so many different aspects, visually, sound, presentation, distribution. Like this whole, there is so much cool shit that you can work into any creative artifact that you're generating, because there's just so much stuff out there, and these artists that are big on the scene right now are doing such a great job. Everything is impressive that they're in these presentations, so I'm wicked excited.
The worst part about it, and not even just with music, but with all the various forms of independent content creation on YouTube, from podcasts to commentary to reviews to music to animation across the board. The worst part about it is that there's no way to see all the great shit that's out there.
Yeah, you
will always miss most of it, and that's a blessing and a curse, because it means you'll always be finding something new as long as you look for it.
It's funny, if you had asked me what the major group that comes after the one defined by 9/11, the 2008 crisis, a general sense of ennui, chronic depression, and jokes about suicide, the generation after that is experiencing the worst opiate crisis in American history, what they would do, I would not have picked wicked dope music and content being generated. Well, I don't know how these fucking kids are doing it, but it is awesome, man. It is really, really good.
It is.
We've seen the same sort of thing with games, like these indie gamers, these indie musicians. It's the age of the indie, and I'm loving it.
And speaking of indie, this might be a pretty good time
to talk
segue
about
out.
Neil Breen.
Oh my God, no.
Go, whoever you are listening out there, just when you're done with listening to us, go to yourmoviesucks.org or yourmoviesucks.org on YouTube and watch his video, Neil Breen, Breen. That is your homework. You'll thank us later.
Yeah.
We assign homework now.
All right. So we're
that you faxed.
But I think you're working your way to the Steam section.
The Steam sale.
There's a little Steam whistle for you.
Yeah.
My favorite, but also our most pointless segment,
Super
where you can
hot.
hear about Steam sales that happened that are done by the time you listen to this.
Every single week, because
Well, no,
fuck you.
If you like them, you just throw them on your wish list, and then you remember, oh, when we talked about it, it was 80% off. Next time it rolls around, it'll say something on your wish list is on sale, and it'll only be
You know what?
50% off.
I don't even know what the point is here. The train simulator is right up front.
Oh,
And I mean, what more could you want out of life than a
A
boring,
Tomb
monotonous
Raider?
job that is mostly automated anyway?
77% off.
919.
Okay,
TS18.
919. First off, I fucking love trains. I've loved trains
know.
since Atomic of the Tank Engineering, okay?
Oh my God,
When I was
the
5 years old, my grandmother created me
Oh my
a
God, what's going
Percy
on?
the Tank Engine costume. Now, was it a cardboard with a construction paper face and green, and it went with my cute little overalls as a kid, and the box was held up by suspenders? Yes. Was it the dopest fucking costume I have ever experienced? Absolutely. Okay. Did I grow up setting up model trains that go toot toot and put smoke out when you put a little oil in them, going around my Christmas tree for my entire youth? Yes. Did I play Sid Meier's Railroads? Yes. Did I play Railroad Tycoon? Everyone since the first one through the fourth one? Yes. Okay. Am I a little opinionated on trains? Yes. This game looks awesome.
Well, alrighty then. I think we.
Bill's already
yeah.
putting
He's
his chips
sold.
down.
He's.
Oh no,
sold.
it's got mixed reviews.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Fuck you.
Well, it's only 8,000 mixed reviews. Maybe it's
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter when you see that on other games.
But this one, oh no.
Oh, that looks terrible. Oh my god, there's no.
It came out 9 years ago. That
Yeah,
could be
that's
part of
true.
the problem. 2009.
Then why does it say 2018?
Wait, yeah, wait.
Wait, what?
What?
It does, yeah. TS
2018.
Oh, it does.
But it did. But yeah,
For-
the release date was
What
2009.
the fuck? Are they future trains?
Sent back in time
your trains.
to look terrible.
What? That doesn't make. They have a German one.
They're all German. All Sims are German. They
No,
love
this
it
is
over
the
there.
this is the German edition.
Anyway.
This is the German
German.
train.
All
Rainbow
right.
Six Siege for $16, 60%
This is
off.
like the 5th time we've seen this game on sale.
Yep.
Why is it still on sale?
Because it's still a fucking. It's got a big community and it's old, but people will still buy it because it rocks.
Yeah, it's a popular
Rise of the
game.
Tomb Raider, 75% off. That is a
get
fucking
that.
easy pick.
$15, 100% worth it.
Spike
Also on Game Pass.
Gunshaft?
Yeah, that publisher weekend.
Chunsoft.
Okay.
Fire
This is a
Pro
developer
Wrestling
site.
World.
Shut it down. Fire Pro Wrestling? That sounds. Well, that's $23. No thanks.
Danganronpa V3. Killing a Harmony.
50% off at $60. All right, so this must be a whole fucking.
Ultra Despair Girls. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ.
What does that mean?
Ultra Despair
Wait,
Girls.
is it like extra amped up? The lie she tried to make me believe, or whatever it is. The click.
Okay.
Tumblr click.
This is
click and
clearly
play.
a whole world we know nothing about because there are 20 games here that
Very
are all
positive.
$60 when they're not on sale. This must very positive. Okay. I don't even
We're
know.
watching a video of it because
Yeah.
we cannot not
bear,
see what's going on here.
half scary
So
bear.
far-
This is
it's anime-
This is extremely Japanese.
Oh my
looking
God.
art style.
Now they're in an elevator.
Experience the despair connecting the two mutual killing games.
Oh my fuck.
What on
Some
earth?
anime going on here. Whatever
I
this
don't
is.
know. There's a creepy two-faced bear,
I'm not seeing much in the way of gameplay.
Listen.
or on what the fuck it's even about.
Yeah, I don't know what this is about, but I'm sure you need to strap yourself
Oh, that
in.
does not look
Oh,
normal.
Sweating anime
Sweating
girl.
anime girl doing something with her hands off screen.
All right, Jake, please blast us out of here. Save us.
I don't know. I kind of like torturing you guys.
Oh, no.
She's shooting these.
She's shooting a bear with a megaphone? Was the,
Oh no, this
this
girl's
world is
laughing
populated
like
with
crazy.
no rendered objects. What the fuck? This is an empty world.
Of just stuffed bear,
Two-faced
scary,
bear.
and
What's
then
wrong with
creepy.
her tongue though? Why is
creepy
it all
tongue
like
girl.
hanging out like a dog?
Oh, and now she's gonna stab herself because reasons unknown.
Eject, please.
Nope.
Come on, get out of here. No.
Okay, we're done.
Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
tension
Beginning
is
to
gone.
Perspire.
So yeah, this is a developer
Goodbye,
style.
despair.
This is
Oh
a-
shit! Zero escape, zero time dilemma.
That does not sound like someone who
That
speaks
looks
English as a first
ridiculous.
language.
The non-nonary games.
So this is basically a one-way ticket to Japan land.
Okay,
Japanland.
Mystery Chronicle, one-way heroics for 99 cents.
All right, let's do it.
Pixel junk.
This
look,
is a
mixed
fucking
reviews.
ball-breaking game.
I'm
From
already over
20.
it.
What does that say? 2016.
It's mixed reviews. You're right.
Oh no! Somebody made it in
Aw.
RPG Maker here.
Yeah, it looks like an RPG Maker game.
Run right from the. I thought it said run right from the left. Run right from the light. Auto scroll means roguelike? What?
What is
What the
this?
fuck is auto scroll?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess you got to keep moving or it kills you.
Or lots of fancy artwork for this
This
8-bit
the
style.
world has an end, but there are endless worlds.
What?
Okay.
Wow.
One way.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
what? You only progress.
You
So
can
it's a
only go
side-scrolling
forward.
roguelike top-down RPG.
Yeah.
Beat 'em up. It's really Japanese. That's
Really,
all
it's
I
just a
call it.
confusing mess, is what's happening.
It is sushi in video.
All right, none of these
form.
games look very interesting. I don't know about you
This
guys.
is a
I'm not
hot
sure
mess.
that's
Yeah.
gonna-
Yeah.
Even for like the 99 cents, I'm not sure
Yeah.
No.
All right,
Goodbye.
next group.
I even want to waste my time on that.
Farming Simulator, shut it down.
But is
60% off.
Is there a
10
German
bucks.
edition?
They're all German editions. You don't get it. It's
But
Farming Simulator 17. So if it follows Train Simulator 2018, this was put out in 1945.
Yes, that's how that works.
The dawn of gaming.
It was the downfall.
It
of the
came out in
Nazis, really.
2016.
Yeah, they all
put all
stopped. They all
their-
stopped
yeah.
fighting and started playing.
That's pretty typical. They always. It doesn't matter always like come out the end of like a given year,
It's
but
like Cars.
Yeah, so this is
names of the
2016.
Cars too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're
only
gonna
1 year
we're
old.
Very
gonna
positive.
look into this.
I really do have to start simulating something.
Start simulating farming.
Have you
Start
have you
simulating
tried simulating
balls.
like a good life?
Ooh.
Oh, that's Sims.
Oh, yo, this farm
Depending on how you
is
play it.
nice and high res.
Yo, look at
these
that.
tires turning. That tractor going impossibly fast.
Ooh.
Oh,
over
a train!
a
There's
bridge.
trains in this one.
Oh
Oh
fuck!
my
2 for 1 deal.
Yup.
Whoop. Farming
Okay, a
and
silo.
trains.
Is it going to dump some ground up
it's the little
corn?
sheepies. Oh,
And there's aminals.
piggy. Oh, look at the cow. Look how nice they are.
The girls like the aminals
Prison.
All
and
right.
the prison.
There's a. Oh, there's.
Combine
Aminal
harvesters.
prison.
Look at the wheat.
Oh yeah, cut that wheat.
Oh, that was
Ah,
pretty
yes,
low
meal
res
the
grain
flour.
being shot into it.
After all these amazing graphics we've seen, I'm like, oh, I don't know, the grain look kind of not fully resolution.
Yes.
Anywho.
One
All
could
right.
say the resolution.
I don't
was a
know.
little-
I think we should watch another 45 minutes of Jelly.
It's just this.
just so we get the full point.
Dude,
If anybody like
It looks
really cares that
beautiful.
much, just go drive down a highway in Kansas for like several hours, and that's what you're gonna get.
it's all about the control, dog.
Elder Scrolls Online, $9.99.
It's always 50% off.
Yep.
It's also free on Game Pass.
Wait,
Mhm.
Shadow of Mordor,
Mordor.
Game of the Year, 60% off.
Oh, $8.
This game I've
Middle
heard is
Earth.
incredible.
Okay.
we
I might.
No,
yeah,
this is
pretty
the-
good.
We've talked about this
yeah.
game before.
If you don't have it yet, buy it for $8. You cannot go wrong.
Yeah, that might happen. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen.
It's pretty fucking dope. We have a whole episode on it. Episode number insert here.
We're not gonna do that.
See, Steins Gate.
Oh no, that's from that
part of it.
publisher.
Don't
Is
do
it?
it. Don't
No.
do it. It's
Part
part
of
of that.
No.
Part of the
Get
Despair
out.
Girls
I haven't seen
thing.
that list.
Get
It is.
out.
Get
I
out.
did. 'Cause
I don't
thought
think-
it was a beer drinking simulator.
Steins Gate.
Dragon. No, don't take Dragon's Repas. That is the same thing. Okay.
yeah.
What
we're
about
done.
what?
Do we have one more page, or is
Oh,
it
that
going
is
right
Steins
back
It's
to the
always
beginning?
2 pages.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so it's mostly this weirdo publisher weekend
Yeah.
deal.
So I'm gonna go ahead and call right now.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor seems to be the winner here.
Yeah. You know what? I would. The only reason I'm not picking up Rise of the Tomb Raider is because I already have it for Xbox.
There we go. You don't need it.
But at $15, 100% an excellent deal. Definitely worth it. And from everything I've heard about Shadow of Mordor, for $8, oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah, if I didn't have Gears of War to play right now, and also was involved with 2 Dungeons and Dragons games, which I'm sure I will talk
Nerd.
about at some point, I would probably pick up Shadow of Mordor, but I just don't see myself having enough time to.
You could
play
just
it right
pick it
now.
up and not play it until you have time.
Yeah, but it'll be on
All right,
sale more.
Leisler.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor, that price is pretty nice. Plus, I don't know about all the other weird stuff that was on there. It was a little sad sale today.
A little bit sad.
Two worthy contenders for sure.
2.
And I would
With
both.
I would give an honorable mention to Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
IG.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with both of them because I don't have either of them. So Shadow of Mordor and
I think you'll
Tomb Raider.
I think you'll like Tomb Raider a lot. It's very
yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
Well, Assassin's Creed and it's kind of like Uncharted,
Yeah.
which are
Assassin's
two,
Creed meets Uncharted for sure.
two of my favorite games. So there we go.
So I have Shadow of Mordor. I would recommend it if somebody doesn't have it. I already have it. Before I play the most recent Tomb Raider, I'm going to want to play through the older ones. So by the time I finally get around to it, it'll probably be off of the $60 thing. So I'll wait for another sale. I'm going to go with Farming Simulator 17.
It has trains.
Under $10, and we keep seeing these fucking Sims on here. I want to try it. There's got to be something to it.
Oh boy.
So when I go on to purchase this, if Mud Runner is on sale, because I missed it the last 2
Yeah,
times.
I think I'm holding out for Mud Runner too.
Yeah. But my pick this week is going to be Farming Simulator 17.
Wow.
All
Well,
right.
everyone's wrong sometimes.
All right. Don't forget. Always be fucking boob tootin'.
Boob Tootin.
Boob Tootin and cock 'em, lock 'em, and rock 'em, baby. Toot, 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 toot.
Don't forget to floss.
Your ass.